God blessed us with this radio station. You know, we applied, several nonprofits applied, and out of the 5 entities that were put in the final list, thankfully Solid Rock was able to receive this from the FCC. And part of our duty is to provide public service and community service. So we're doing this as a public service to give you information and education for the upcoming election coming up tomorrow. So this is why we're doing this. Again, no one's paying us to do this. We're just doing this as a public service. We've reached out to as many candidates as we can so that they can get their voice out and let them share what they're about. So we're going to get rolling. And already in the studio with me, I am delighted and honored to have with me James Gardner, who is running for Nueces County District Attorney. So I'm so glad to have him here. Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing fantastic. I first want to thank God for giving us a beautiful day and for all the wondrous blessings He continues to shower upon us. And sometimes we're not aware of those blessings because we're caught up. And I think we just take time out of our busy day, maybe this afternoon, to try to calmly reflect on our lives and the blessings that God has given us, and to truly be thankful. I
always say grateful people are happier people.
I agree
well
with that.
said.
I agree with that. I think, and they're more. I think they have a closer relationship with God.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for taking the time to come in. Tell us about James Gardner, who you are, and a little bit of background so that the people that are listening right now in our community can get a better grip on who is James Gardner.
Well, I grew up a poor kid in Michigan, and right out of high school, I joined the United States Air Force, where I proudly served for 8 years. So I'm an honorably discharged veteran from the United States Air Force. The Air Force dropped me off in San Antonio, and so I finished my college education at Southwest Texas State University. A few years later, I found myself in law school. I didn't get in the first time, and I was kind of upset because, you spend a lot of money applying to different law schools, and so I was really... I was more than angry. I was frustrated, and so I called my uncle, and I said, hey, what's this law thing, blah, blah. I was really upset. He says, did you pray about it?
Come on.
And that took all the wind out of my sails. It released all my frustration and anger and everything. I said, he's right. So I prayed about it, and then I applied again. In the following year, the first letter of matriculation, they call it, I came from Thurgood Marshall School of Law in Houston, so that's where I went to law school, because I told God, get me in. I'll go. The first place that says yes is the first place I'm going, because that's where I know you want me to go. So that's where I went. I graduated from Thurgood Marshall School of Law in 1999 with honors. Wow. I took the Texas State Bar same year and passed without a problem.
Great.
And my first job out of law school was a assistant district attorney in Bexar County up in San Antonio. I did that for 8 months, and my student loan payment came due because I took a little bit of a deferment, and what I was making in my loan payment meant I couldn't eat. So I took a job at a civil firm for over a year and paid down my student loans and everything, got all that taken care of, and went back into private practice. But in 2002, I moved to Corpus Christi to take the job at the district attorney's office to be an assistant district attorney here in Nueces County, and I stayed for 5 years. And for 4.5 of those years, I was a gang prosecutor. And James Sales and I and Doug Mann and I prosecuted.
I met James before.
Yeah, prosecuted the most evil among us. I mean, because some of those guys are just pure evil. Some of them, it's a family tradition to be a gang member. They get caught up in it, and they're really not down for the struggle, as they say. But some of them are just pure evil. So I've had the opportunity to help keep our community safe doing that. Yeah. And then I went into private practice for a couple of years, and then an opportunity came up for me to go to Afghanistan. Now, I didn't have to go, but the mission seemed intriguing to me. Mm-hmm. So in January of 2010, I became a United States Justice Advisor to Afghanistan. Wow. And I went out there and I was training the judges and prosecutors and investigative police. And that was quite a mission. And I did that for 28 months. And I came back to Corpus Christi, my home, and went back into private practice. So I've got a lot of public service under my belt.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this question, because believe it or not, James, there are people in our community, and I don't mean to put anybody down, but they don't even know, what does a district attorney do? So if you could just real briefly, and then I'll ask you one last question. What is the role of the district attorney? So people know, all right, I see that on the ballot, but what does that person do? I mean,
the district attorney is a top prosecutor for Nueces County. and that you have assistant district attorneys for different areas of responsibility. But the elected district attorney is the top prosecutor for Nueces County. That means once the police make an arrest, they gather evidence. The district attorney's office will analyze that evidence. Will say whether the elements of the law have been violated and which elements and which evidence you have to prove those up, and will refer charges against the person that's arrested, or tell the police officers you don't have enough, so you don't have enough evidence, so keep investigating, or we're going to no charge the case, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
The person accused may have a defense,
right?
And you look at that and say, well, yeah, he did murder somebody, but that somebody broke into his house at 3 a.m. to steal something. The homeowner shot and killed him.
Sure.
There's still a murder,
right?
But he's justified because that's his house. He's entitled to do that in Texas. So
exactly.
They make those judgment calls based upon the facts and the evidence that they have.
Okay.
So that's basically the job of the district attorney.
Well, thank you for clarifying that, because actually, believe it or not, we have some government classes in some schools today that are actually watching by live stream. So
awesome.
this is education for students as well. So that's why I wanted to say that.
Yeah. And also the district attorney's office. I think the district attorney, the elected district attorney, has a responsibility to help the other law enforcement agencies in Nueces County be better at what they do.
Excellent.
If you picture it as a conductor of an orchestra, and the different police agencies that operate in Nueces County are the sections of that orchestra. You got the winds, you got the string instruments, you got the percussion, you got all those other sections. Well, it's up to the district attorney's office, in my view, to say, hey, you guys are out of tune a little bit. Let's get on the same sheet of music. I would rather have you guys do this versus the way you're doing it now. Let's change the policy to make everybody more professional, more customer service oriented, and more responsive to the needs of our community. And that will help all of us become safer.
Right, exactly. Well, that's good. Now we've defined that role. So, got a couple minutes left.
Okay.
Why should Nueces County elect you as district attorney? So we'll let you kind of give why you should be the best candidate and why people should go out tomorrow and vote for you.
Well, number one, I have a track record of public service that's unmatched by my opponent. And I think in any election, your job as a voter is to pick the best person that's in the race, that's running. So I clearly have a history of public service that's unmatched by my opponent. I understand what needs to occur at the district attorney's office, having been there for 5 years. I understand where the weaknesses are, how we need to change to make the process of case intake much better. I understand both sides, the legal issue, having been a prosecutor as well as a criminal defense lawyer. Because let's face it, I've sat down with clients that I defended, and I sat around the kitchen table and talked to their mom and grandmoms and let them know, here's a process, here's how things work, because they don't have any idea. And I've also, as a prosecutor, I sat down with the family members of a victim who lost their life or is in a hospital or whatever, fighting for their life, and talked about those issues. So I have the experience on both sides of the aisle, and I'm a committed public servant, so I understand budgeting, I understand how to get more money, I understand all those issues and all those things that aren't really part of what the public would see as a district attorney, but I know how to walk into the weeds and get down to the details to make the district attorney's office more innovative, more responsive to the needs of the community, and more professional.
Excellent. All right, folks, you've been listening to James Gardner, who is running for Nueces County District Attorney. Well said. Thank you for stopping by. And now you can make a better informed decision tomorrow when you go to make that, you go to that ballot, make that vote. So pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for, yes. And well, thank you for stopping by. And we wish God's best on you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. And you too, and all your listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you. James Gardner running for Nueces County District Attorney. And a few minutes ago, we heard from one of the candidates for Nueces County District Attorney, James Gardner. I have now with me in the studio Robert Hernandez, Robert G. Hernandez, who is running for Nueces County Commissioner, Precinct 1. And again, we're just so thankful for all these candidates that are stopping by. And Robert, thank you for coming and welcome to 100.3.
Thank you for inviting me, Pastor.
Yes, we're glad to have you. And you're running for Nueces County Commissioner, Precinct 1. Tell the people, first of all, who is Robert G. Hernandez? As they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see your name, who is Robert Hernandez?
Okay, yeah, my name is Robert Hernandez. I'm born and raised here in Corpus Christi. Graduated from Floyd Moody High School. 1970. And strangely enough, against my dad's wishes, I graduated May 28, got married May 30th. Got married when I was 18 years old. And been married 46 years to my wife, Lorena Hernandez. And we've got two
That's
sons.
beautiful. That's wonderful.
We've got two sons. Rodney Hernandez, he's a state trooper, and Robert Hernandez, he works at Lyondell Refinery. So I'm very proud of my sons and what we've accomplished.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Well, the question that we're asking today is, why should people vote for Robert G. Hernandez when they go and they see your name on the ballot for Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 1? What is the reason that they should vote for Robert G. Hernandez?
Well, one of the reasons that I'm running for this position is I've retired from Nueces County after 22 years of service with the county. Within that time, I've seen a lot of things that could use improvement, okay, especially when it comes down to the employees. I've seen a lot of things where money could have been spent a little bit wiser, okay? And this is the thing, I retired from the purchasing department. So there I learned a lot of the going-ons of the county. And so this is why I do have experience. Like I said, I've been there 22 years, and when you're an employee, you kind of learn more than what's going on ins and outs of the government entity.
22 years there employed
Yes.
with the county.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah, so you got to see a whole lot.
I sure did. You know, and I got to meet a lot of good people. And throughout the years, let me go back a little bit. When I was in high school, I was working through a school program, working at the Nueces County Courthouse, at the old courthouse back in '67. Mm-hmm. And I got to meet good people like Judge Barnes, Noel Kennedy, Carl Blunzer, people that I admired, that I figured really had good work ethics. Okay. Back then, the county commissioner, his main responsibility was to work the rural areas, okay? And they didn't have like directors, or they had supervisors, but the commissioner was totally in charge of his precinct. And his main concern was the rural areas, make sure we had proper drainage, make sure the roads were maintained. And that's not happening today.
Wow. So now you're getting an education of what the county commissioners do. Okay. So a lot of people probably go to the ballot and say, well, I don't even know what they're really doing. I know that for a fact that some people say, I don't even know what they do. So you've defined they take care of not only urban areas, rural areas,
Yep.
drainage, streets, all those kinds of things. So, well, okay. Well, then we've heard any other things you want to add to that as far as why people should vote for you? We've got a couple minutes left.
Well, it's just that, my area would consist of Calallen area, Annaville area, okay? And the reason I'm running for is because since I've been there, and the employees used to get a raise once a year, even if it was a 2% raise, but it was once a year, and it would help out a little bit. But now the present commissioner has cut it down, and the county just cut it down to every 3 years. It's 3 years, 6 years, and 9 years. So by the time you get to your 9th year, the employee has lost 12% interest. In his wages. Mm-hmm. So times are hard now. How do they expect people to support their families? Okay, and when I've been there, just about everybody that I know works 2 jobs.
Wow.
So that kind of hampers them in family life, participating with their kids. So to me, I just want to improve the quality of life for the Nueces County, for the lowest paying Nueces County employee.
I love that.
Because commissioners are doing well for themselves. Mm-hmm. They do well when they retire. Okay. Right now we have a secretary that's making $72,000. No other secretary is making $72,000, but the county judge secretary is making $72,000. They're getting ready for retirement. Okay.
Sure.
So I find that is wrong, and this is what I want to change. I want to do it for the benefit of the lower paying class, the people that really make the commissioners look good, because they're the ones that are doing the job.
Okay, you're hearing from Robert G. Hernandez and his thoughts about Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 1 and the things that he would like to see change and see the things that he would like to be done. So, again, that's Robert G. Hernandez, Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 1. Mr. Hernandez, thank you so much. And thank you for coming by our church yesterday to worship with us. And thank you for coming by to share that information. But we're here live right now. But thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Again, Robert G. Hernandez, Nueces County Commissioner, Precinct 1. you've heard what his thoughts are, his vision is, so you can make an informed vote. So God bless you, sir.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, Pastor. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, sir. All right. You've been listening to 100.3. That was Robert Hernandez. We appreciate him coming by. So, RB Inspire Radio. This is Steve Coronado. Hope you're having a great day. For those of you watching on our solidrock.tv/live, hello. And for those of you watching on the Solid Rock phone app, hello. For those of you listening on 100.3, hello today. We are doing Inspire the Vote. We want to get you inspired and excited and fired up to get out and vote. So be sure that you get informed, and that's what we're doing. We're doing this as a public service to just give you education. So we've got candidates that'll be coming in throughout the day for the next few hours, and so just stay tuned. And you know, I just want you to know, and I said it earlier, we're not doing this to. Nobody's paying us. Nobody's paying advertising money. This is a public service we are doing for the community, to the community, bipartisan. And I'll tell you what, it's because I love my city. It's because I love the state of Texas. And I love the United States of America. God bless America. I pledge allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Yes, we are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that's what we're doing. And so stay tuned. We're going to continue to move forward. And I'll be back in just a little bit, hopefully with a candidate that we might be having by phone. All right. So we'll go back to music, and I'll be back in just a moment. We have Dr. Lloyd Stegerman, who is running for District 4 City Council. Dr. Lloyd, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on again, and we're having some come in the studio, and today you're busy doing what you do, and you're going to join us by phone. But again, we just, I guess, in case someone missed our interview with you on Thursday, again, this is Dr. Lloyd Stegerman. I'm going to say your name many times because I want people to know exactly who they're hearing, but he's running for District 4 City Council. But first of all, tell us who Dr. Lloyd Stegerman is. Exactly a little bit about you and a bio, and tell us about who you are.
Sure, absolutely. So, Dr. Lloyd Stegerman, I'm a bariatric surgeon here in Corpus. I live in Flower Bluff. I went to Carroll High School. After I graduated, went off to college medical school and came back to Corpus Christi 5 years ago to be closer to my parents who have been here all along. So we've spent a lot of time down here. Finally moved back 5 years ago and really happy to be here. Had a stop with the Navy, taught school for a while, and then started my medical practice. We specialize in medical and surgical weight loss and really have been focusing the last 5 years and working on the health of Corpus Christi. And now that the practice is running well and I have a little more time, I really want to focus on the health of our city.
Great.
Because I think we have significant needs right now. And I think if we can get some of these issues straightened out and fixed, then Corpus Christi is going to prosper like it never has before, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
I love that idea, getting us healthy and prospering. You're listening to Dr. Lloyd Stegerman running for District 4 City Council here in Corpus Christi, and I love that. Health and prosperity. Man, that sounds great. Well, tell us why they should vote for you. Give you like 2 or 3 minutes here to tell our listening audience. We have people not only listening by radio on 100.3, there's people watching our live stream on Facebook, on our phone app. So we're not only broadcasting by radio, but all kinds of other social media outlets here. But tell us why they should vote for Dr. Lloyd Stegerman, District 4 City Council.
So District 4 is made up of the island, Flower Bluff, and then the Ocean Drive area back to about Alameda. And that's a very wide-ranging district, and we have people who make basically nothing to people who are multimillionaires. And because of my experience in life, I can represent all of those people well. And I think that's one of the things that separates from the other candidate is he's certainly done a lot for the island, and I'm very appreciative of the things he's done. But the district is more than just the island. It's also Flower Bluff, Ocean Drive area, and we have a lot of needs that I think I can represent well in that area. But the one thing I will say, and I can't even call him an opponent because the other candidate is a great candidate as well. And I think District 4 is going to be in good hands either way. I think the voice that I can bring to the council is different than what we have up there now. And I think that's a valuable position to be in because we do need a wide-ranging voice on the council. We need people on the council that represent the entire city, and that's the one thing that I've always been able to do. I am one who brings people together, and to have tangible results for any of the groups that I've been involved in, councils that I've sat on, boards that I've sat on. We work together, and we work to get things done, and that's what we need in the city to move forward.
Moving forward, bringing people together, getting us a healthier city, bringing prosperity to Corpus Christi. That's fantastic. I love it. Well, thank you, Dr. Lloyd Stagerman, for taking the time to share that. And it's getting out to a whole lot of people. We've even got students in high schools that are getting in their government classes. They're getting an education today and listening and watching. So thank you again. District 4 City Council, Dr. Lloyd Stagerman. When you go to the ballot tomorrow, you know exactly who he is and what he's about. So have a wonderful day, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that opportunity.
All righty. Bye-bye.
And bye now.
All right, that was Dr. Lloyd Stagerman, and he is running for District 4 City Council, Dr. Lloyd Stagerman. You're listening to Inspire the Vote on 100.3 FM. Again, you can, in case you're getting out of your car and you're saying, well, I got to go back into my office and I don't have access to a radio, get your smartphone out, download the Solid Rock app, go to your computer, go to the website, solidrock.tv/live, or you just go to our website, solidrock.tv, and you'll see the live button. And you can watch, all right? So those of you that are watching, I'm waving at you, all right? And we're having a good time. Thanks to all the dream team that's here. Thanks to Manny, William, David, and, well, we've got a whole crew here. And so appreciate y'all doing that. It's going great. So I'm going to go to a song so that we can line up our next candidate for Inspire the Vote, right here on 100.3. Inspire the Vote here on 100.3 Inspire the Radio. This is an event we're calling Inspire the Vote, getting you informed and educated and ready for the great election happening tomorrow. And not only is there a presidential election, there are local elections going on as well. And we've heard from some candidates already today. And joining me in the studio now is Janie Bell. She is running for CCISD Trustee at Large. Janie, welcome, and how you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Well, it was good to talk to you the other day, and thank you for being here. And I like the shirt. I like all the stuff you got. Yeah, it's great stuff. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, first of all, tell the listeners that are both listening and watching by computer and live stream and all that good stuff, who is Janie Bell? Who is Janie Bell? Tell us a little about yourself so we can be familiar with you.
Okay. Well, I am Janie Bell, and I am up for re-election. I'm the current school board president for the CCISD School Board.
Awesome.
And I have lived in Corpus Christi for 38 years. I have 4 children who are CCISD graduates.
Wow.
I've been a very active community volunteer throughout that time. I served as the director for the American Diabetes Association for 11 years here, which really I got to do a lot of kind of on the ground working with people and helping them find healthier ways of living.
Wonderful.
So after my children graduated, I was always really involved as a PTA mother and the Booster Club, and volunteered in the classroom with teachers. And when my children started, my last one was graduating, that somebody said, you ought to consider running for school board. To give you a chance, you could be the voice for a parent, for a volunteer, and that's pretty much what I am, a community stakeholder, and I ran at large, which is hard to do because that's the whole district wide.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you the question. I mentioned this right before we started here. You know, tell the people that are listening, what is the role of someone who is a trustee at large? What is their role? What is their job description, kind of, sort of? And again, I think you mentioned today this is not a paid thing. This is something you do to just help.
It's volunteer.
Yeah. So explain to us what that role is, though.
Okay. Well, the district has 4 districts, and you have a representative from each district, and they're usually broken down by the high school, centered around the high school and the neighborhoods around them.
Right.
And but I serve at large, so I represent the whole district. And my role really is to be a sounding board for the community. Any concerns they have, to listen to them, take those back, discuss with the superintendent. But as a school board member, we work with our superintendent, and we're really considered a team of 8. And when you have a very effective school board, everybody's working towards the common goal together and working with your superintendent. And when you do that together as a team, then you really affect student learning in the classroom. It's all good. So what we do when we're go to a board meeting, we usually listen to several reports, find out what's happening in the district. They'll give us reports, everything from curriculum to sports to facilities. Right now we have a bond about, because we're trying to replace some aging schools. Any other concerns like that. We do a lot with policy and policy, developing policy.
Exactly.
One thing we do not do is to micromanage our superintendent. He's the CEO of basically a large company.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we're his board, but we support him and we work with him and we bring him our suggestions and things that we hear, but we really work together.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, well that helps define. And I love CCISD. I have a daughter, Alina. She went through CCISD and graduated. Well, she went to Windsor Park and Baker, and then she graduated from King, and now she's graduated from UT Austin, and she's doing great. But I have another daughter who's still in CCISD, and she is at Veterans, and loving it and enjoying it. And my wife taught in CCISD. I have a sister who still teaches in CCISD. So we love CCISD, and we care a lot about our students and our children. So thank you for serving in this role that you've already done. But let's close out with one last question. When they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see Janie Bell on the ballot, why should they vote for Janie Bell to be CCISD trustee at large?
Well, just over the last 4 years, I've gained a lot of knowledge and expertise of what's working in our district. And our district has made great strides. We've gone from 11 underperforming schools to 4. I really feel that I want to keep the momentum going. It's very important right now to keep that momentum going. And I think that I bring that consistency to the next 4 years to keep us all moving in a good forward direction.
Moving forward, momentum, consistency, man, I love it. And just someone who has a heart for our students and for our community doing this. Fantastic. Janie, thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Keep your fingers crossed. Remember, I'm number 7 on the ballot and number 1 for education.
Awesome. I love it. Janie Bell, CCISD trustee at large. Thank you, Janie. May God richly bless you, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3. That was Janie Bell running for CCISD trustee at large, and we appreciate her taking the time. So, KSRB, and so glad to have you with us today. We are doing an event we called Inspire the Vote. Inspire the Vote, and we've had some candidates already come by in our studio and letting us know what they think about their role and what they're trying to get elected for. And so this is good. So again, let your friends know. Text message somebody. Let somebody know. I think this is out on it's on Facebook right now. It's live on Facebook. It is at solidrock.tv/live. It is on our Solid Rock phone app. So hey, all of you that are watching, I'm glad that you're with us, and we've got more candidates coming, plenty more candidates. So you're learning. And I think the fact that some of these positions we're just defining what they do is informative. Okay, we learned about what the CCISD trustee at large, what they do. Okay, Janie Bell came in and she talked and explained what she does. We had Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 1 explain what he was about. So that's all part of the process here. So we're learning some roles and different things. So, well, we're just going to move on to our next candidate. And want to welcome here to 100.3 KSRB a friend I've known for some time, Sheriff Larry Olivares, who is running for sheriff of Nueces County. He's been the former sheriff and known you for some time. Welcome to 100.3 and glad to have you today. How you doing today?
We're doing great. We're blessed. It's coming to the end, but we're going to work it today and until tomorrow, until the election time. And it's been very positive. We're very happy and joyful to what's going on. God has been good to us.
Great,
during
great.
this whole election process. Man, we're very blessed.
Well, I was really blessed to have you in our service yesterday. Thanks for stopping by and worshiping with us. And not only that, got a chance to meet some of the people and shake hands with a lot of the people. So that's so great. But, again, there might be some new residents in Corpus Christi. There might be some people that have just moved here. They may not know who Larry Olivares is. So we want to give you a chance real quick to tell us who is Larry Olivares and your background and that sort of thing, so they can get to know you. When they go to the ballot tomorrow, they see Larry Olivares, they say, man, I'm glad I tuned in to 100.3 or on solidrock.tv. We're actually, you can see on that screen, people are watching right now as well on Facebook and all kinds of different places. But who is Larry Olivares?
Well, thank you, Pastor. Larry Olivares is a kid that grew up here in the west side barrios of Corpus Christi. And a lot of my friends that grew up with me a lot of people know it as the Triangle of Corpus Christi. It's between Morgan and Baldwin and Airport Road. And I went to local schools, Austin Elementary, Olive Barnes, Miller, and Del Mar. And grew up in this area here. As a kid, I grew up picking cotton and shining shoes in the summers, trying to, help mom and dad with clothes for us to go to school. And that work ethic is stuck with me throughout my life. I don't shy away from hard work. But then went into the police department, spent 23 years there, and it was a great career with the PD. Then God called me to run for sheriff back then, although I was not politically connected or didn't have any kind of money or anything. And Lord and behold, as they say that sometimes challenges look pretty tough and you can't do it, but God can move mountains, and He moved a mountain for me back in '96.
Yes, He can. Yes.
And I won.
Yep.
And everybody was pretty shocked because I was totally, not involved in any politics or anything. And God blessed us that we won in '96. And then the people of this county chose to reelect me in 2000. And then they reelected me again in 2004, so 3 terms that I served. And at that time, I resigned from my office because I had a bigger dream about Nueces County. I saw what our county employees were going through. They're not very well paid, and they're hardworking people.
Sure.
And I saw that back then we were having a brain drain where our young college graduates were leaving our community, and they were just not being plugged into the economy in this area. They were not being plugged into the positions where major decisions can turn this county around.
Yes.
So, but it didn't happen, and I went into the private business side and worked. I am working for, maintain my lifestyle and help my family and pay our bills. But then again, God called me back because there's an issue in this department right now in the county jail that I have to address, and I know how to address those issues with the problems that are there. And I'm prepared. I have a comprehensive plan to be able to go in there and fix these issues. And I'm the only candidate in the history of the Nueces County Sheriff's Department to be invited and sponsored and graduate from the National FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia.
Fantastic.
And I'm very proud of that. So
Sure.
I've got 40 years of law enforcement and management experience along with that. I've been trained by the FBI in crisis management. I have a worldwide network to work with to make our community safer. And
Fantastic.
At the end of the day, it's fixing the jail is not going to be real simple, but I can do it. I have the plan. But at the end of the day, the sheriff is the head law enforcement officer of this county. And my main priority is going to be to keep our community safe.
Absolutely.
We want to keep our children safe in our schools. We want to keep our folks safe in our churches, where we go out and pray and we ask for God's help. We also need to keep our community safe in our businesses.
And I would say that is one of the main roles. That is one of the main roles of government is to keep people safe.
Well,
Absolutely.
with the problem with terrorists around the country and around the world, some of them are embedded here, but it is our job to keep our folks safe, and they look up to those of us in position to keep them safe. And I am so excited about the future because we have these plans to do a regional security plan, not just Nueces County, but regional community plan.
Wonderful.
Because we're just 2 hours away from our open borders
Exactly.
and open waterways. So we're ready to bring this team together of law enforcement and make our community in Nueces County safe again.
Well, that leads us to our question, which you're already starting to answer, and I know we've got some more candidates coming, but tell us, when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see the name Larry Olivares running for Nueces County Sheriff, explain to the people that are listening and watching right now why they should vote for Larry Olivares.
Folks ought to elect or vote for Larry Olivares because I'm the best qualified candidate. I'm the most experienced. I know how to run this place. I've done it, did it for 10 years. I'm a graduate of the National FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. I'm a local product. I love my community. And I love that department and the men and women that work there, and I'm looking forward to working for them again and making this county proud again. I'm not only the sheriff, but the sheriff's department as a team.
Wonderful. Well, I tell you, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all law enforcement people. We need to honor them. They are representatives of God. I mean, the Bible says all the authorities that exist have been established by God, and that's exactly what law enforcement does. They protect us. They're God's way of bringing protection and blessing and order so that we can progress and move forward. And always admire you, and you're a very community-involved man, not only just in law enforcement, but I remember when I was helping my sister with the parades and your daughter, and I would provide the music for your daughter with their little drill team, and that was so much fun. And there was Larry. He was just walking along in the parade and being part of the community and involved with the kids, and so really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by, and we wish God's blessing. Of course, your wife here as well.
Yes, she's my rock.
Yes.
She's my leader.
Wonderful.
I couldn't have done this without her.
Yes. Well, a family man, a godly man, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Pastor.
God bless you, Larry Olivares.
Love you,
Larry
brother.
Olivares running for Nueces County Sheriff. Make sure that when you go to the ballot now, you know exactly who he is and what he's about, and get out there and vote. Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
God bless you. You're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3, and we'll go back to music. We've got some other candidates I can see that have already shown up, and they're ready, but we'll be with them here in just a moment. Thanks for listening to 100.3.
Faithful stand, oh, even when I'm feeling overwhelmed, 'cause there is hope beyond the things I see. Even in the dirt, I know I must believe. Give me faith to see the incredible, to live in the wonderful, to wait on the miracle. Give me.
You're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote, and we were just talking to Carolyn Vaughn and just realized that our emergency alert system interrupted our programming. It's one of those FCC laws that we have to abide by, and we have no control over it. They make us design our system for that, and for the right reasons. We want to be ready to alert for emergencies. But let's go back again. We were here with Carolyn Vaughn, who is already on the City Council of Corpus Christi. She is running for re-election of District 1. So again, Carolyn, I apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I get do-overs. It's okay.
That's all
Thank
right.
you.
So again, let's tell everybody, for those who are new to Corpus Christi, new voters, I know who you are, but some people don't know, maybe don't know who you are. Who is Carolyn Vaughn that is now on City Council running for District 1? Tell us a little bit about yourself again.
Okay, first off, I'm a Christian. I've been married to the same man for 46 years. I have 3 children, 8 beautiful grandchildren.
Awesome.
And I'm and a businesswoman. So I think that is something that's added to the council.
I love it. Well, let's talk about why they should continue to vote, why they should vote for you to stay on the City Council and re-elect you. When they go to the ballot tomorrow, they see your name, and they're thinking about, okay, here's 2 candidates. Which one do I go with? Tell them why they should vote for you.
I'm a conservative voice on there. I push for the zero-based budgeting, which makes the staff accountable. You can't spend more than what you're told to do.
Good stuff.
So that's good stuff, and I think we'll see the fruits of our labor this next year. I'm very transparent, very ethical, very honest, and I'm very accessible. My cell number is on the website, 877-0148. You can call me at any time. And my district really lacked representation, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I've been very accessible and will continue to be so.
Good. Well, I've watched some of the city council meetings at here and there at times, and I do like your approach, and I like the way you do question things and you bring things up but you're never rude or mean. You just do it in a nice, wonderful spirit. I love that.
Don't need to be that. Just need to find out the information. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So she's doing a great job. But, that's the choice you need to make tomorrow when you go to the ballot. But I wanted you to get to know Carolyn Vaughn, who's running for City Council, District 1. Again, I love the shirt. Doing a great job.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for serving our community. God bless you.
Thank you.
And thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right. That was again Carolyn Vaughn, City Council District 1, running for, let me say that again, City Council District 1. Carolyn Vaughn, who is already on the City Council looking for re-election. Thanks for your patience, Carolyn. Oh, can't believe we had that happen. William's here standing next to me. I don't think you can see him on camera, but can you believe that happened? All right, we're going to go to our next candidate who will be here in about another minute or so. And so stay tuned. 100.3, you're listening to Inspire the Vote.
Through the fire, through the rain, through every trial, Lord, you are true, faithful still. Oh, even when I'm feeling overwhelmed, 'cause there is hope beyond the things I see. Even in the dirt, I know I must believe. Give me faith.
We're going to keep moving forward with Inspire the Vote, coming at you live on 100.3 FM. And again, you can let other people know that maybe they don't have access to a radio, but they have access to the internet or to a smartphone. You can go to solidrock.tv/live, or you can go to the Solid Rock app, download it on your smartphone, and you can hit the live button and not only hear, but see it. And I'm honored to have with us another candidate for City Council. Lucy Rubio is here with us in the studio. Lucy, welcome to 100.3, and how's it going today?
It's going great. Thank you so much for the invitation. We heard you on Thursday, and so I am very glad that I'm here today.
Wonderful. Glad to have you today. Well, I want to ask you a question, first of all. Who is Lucy Rubio? We want the candidates to be informed and know who you are. So give us a little bit of your background and who you are, and let's get to know Lucy Rubio.
Okay, well, I've been born and raised here in Corpus Christi. I was born back in 1951. I will have a birthday in December.
All
so I'll
right.
be 65, and I'm very proud to say that.
You look wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And so I'm a wife. To my husband. We've been married for 37 years.
Wow,
we have
awesome.
2 wonderful children. Our daughter lives in Dallas with her husband, and then our son lives here in Corpus Christi. Went to public schools, Crockett Elementary, Cunningham Junior High, and graduated from Moody High School. Proud graduate of
Awesome.
1970.
Awesome.
Yes,
That's
sir.
great.
Been involved in PTA, been involved with the community as a candy striper for Memorial, Boys and Girls Club. I've been around for a long time.
Wow, sounds like you love the community.
I do.
You love children. You love family. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Well, when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see the name Lucy Rubio, why should they vote for you? What do you want them to remember as they go and they see your name? This is what she's about. This is why we should vote for her. Tell the people why they should vote for Lucy Rubio.
Well, first of all, I've been working really hard for District 3. Our district did not have a representative for a whole year because our former councilwoman, Priscilla Leal, had a stroke. So our seat was vacant for a whole year. So I came in here, my feet on the ground, ready to work. And we got our fire station that was promised in 2008. We broke
Great.
ground on October the 19th.
Oh,
Very
wonderful.
proud to say
Yes.
that. And then we were having problems with one of the creeks that's close to the Calle de Colonias. We got it cleaned out so the water can flow a little bit easier.
Awesome.
So I'm very proud of that. Working on potholes in our streets. But one more time, I've been working hard. I want the folks to know that I'm here, I'm dedicated, I'm ethical, I'm honest, and I'm trustworthy.
So you're on the city council now.
Yes, sir, I am.
District 3, okay?
Yes, sir.
And you're looking to stay there in the position of District 3 City Council. Any other last thoughts you want to tell the people when they think about, should I put her back in that seat?
Well, they all know, most of them know me. They know I'm more hardworking. They know that I'm going to fight for what is right for our community. I'm very conservative. I want things done right, and I think people have noticed that. I fight for the people. I will stand with them, beside them, and do whatever it takes. And they know me. They know I'm going to work hard for them. And you know what? The most important thing is that I bring honesty.
Good.
And we've been fighting the status quo because for too long, things have been done. And if you notice, things have not been done. And so we're fighting to bring back the things that need to be done for our citizens. And that's to get the work done immediately, not wait 10 years to get something done that was voted upon like in 2008.
Boy, I like that. She's just got that gutsy spirit. Let's get it done. Get
Yes,
it
sir.
done. I love that. So, well, thank you, Lucy, for stopping by, and thank you for all the hard work that you are doing for our community.
you,
I
and
love
God
Corpus
bless you.
Christi, and I love what you guys are doing, and that you love our community, especially District 3,
Yes.
which has a lot of needs, but you're doing a great job. And I love the shirt. We love Lucy. That's so cool.
Thank you, thank
so
you.
God bless you.
God
We wish
bless you
God's
too,
best for
and
you,
God
okay?
bless our citizens.
All right, that was Lucy Rubio. Lucy Rubio, District 3, looking to stay there on the city council. So you've got that informed information. So, hey, you're learning stuff. We're learning a lot of good things here. Lucy Rubio looking to stay on city council, District 3. All right.
Gonna see all the walls come down. We're gonna see the lost in us be found and believe for every present soul. We're gonna see heaven here on earth. We're gonna see life rising from the dead and believe there's power in your name.
You're listening to 100.3. We are doing a special event of programming today called Inspire the Vote. Inspire the Vote. And we have had several candidates from our local community who so graciously have come to stop by and inform us and educate us so we can know what to do tomorrow when we go to the ballot. If you haven't already done the early voting, you still got to vote. I'm going to vote tomorrow. I wanted to purposely wait till tomorrow. I don't care about long lines. This is a big event. I'm excited about it. So, hey, but we've got another candidate with us. We have with us in the studio Greg Smith, who's running for City Council District 4. Greg Smith, City Council District 4. Good morning, Greg. Welcome to 100.3.
Good morning, Steve, and thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Well, listen, we have people who are maybe wondering who is Greg Smith, maybe people that are new to the community, and who is Greg Smith. So as they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see your name on City Council District 4, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Well, great. Thank you, Steve. I'm a fifth-generation Corpus Christian. My family got here in 1845, so
Awesome.
been around a while. I'm married to Deborah. She's a retired school teacher for CCISD. I've got
Wonderful.
2 kids, Matthew and Catherine. Both of them are proud Aggies.
All right.
But
Hook 'em horns. My daughter went to UT.
well, I went to UT myself, so we've got one of the
that's
split
wonderful,
families.
though. That's wonderful,
Sure,
your family,
and,
yeah.
and both of them are great Texas schools.
That's great.
But, Corpus Christi, we've got a terrific amount of opportunity facing us, but we've got challenges. So I'm a businessman. I've been very involved in the community, city level, state level, and the county level. I was the vice chairman of Todd Hunter's Windstorm Task Force.
Okay.
I'm the chairman of the Dune Committee. I love our community. My one goal is to make it a better community. Address some of those fiscal problems we've got. We know about it. Infrastructure, streets, that's the number one priority. But we've got to make sure we keep that livable community that we've got here.
Make Corpus Christi a better place. I love that.
Yeah.
5th generation Corpus Christian. I love that. I love that. So again, you touched on it a little bit, but when people go to the ballot tomorrow and they see Greg Smith, what do you want them to remember as to why they should vote for you tomorrow? City Council, District 4, Greg Smith.
We needed to make it a better community. We need to improve our streets, but we need to maintain our quality of lifestyle.
I love it. Well, I love that. I'm all for Corpus Christi, and I'm all for a better quality of life. And so you've heard from Greg Smith, City Council District 4. Thanks for taking the time to come by. And I love that heritage of 5th generation. And you know what? We wish God's best and much success to you, sir.
Thank you, Steve, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you. You just heard from Greg Smith, running for City Council District 4. When you go to the ballot tomorrow, you're now a little bit more familiar with who he is and what he's about. Greg Smith, City Council District 4. Thanks so much. All right, we're going to go back to music. We'll have some more candidates coming at you on our special event today called Inspire the Vote right here on 100.3. 100.3 KSRB, you're listening to Inspire the Vote, a special event that we are doing today. And we've had various candidates here, and I'm just thrilled and honored to have right now with us again in the studio, now in person, and Paulette Guajardo, who is running for City Council at Large. I love the name Guajardo. Let me tell you why. My best friend. He was my best man. He still is a good friend of mine. His name is Guajardo. Dan Guajardo. He's from Oklahoma. But I love that name. So Paulette Guajardo is running for City Council at Large. And welcome to 100.3. How you doing today?
Thank you. I am doing great. The countdown's on.
Yes, it is. We're getting close. It was really great to have you in our worship service yesterday. It was an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Worshiping with us, and for you to be able to see the people, touch the people, shake hands with the people, them interact with you, because we see your wonderful posters, man. I love those big signs that are all over town, and but the people got a chance to see you, talk to you, and touch you, and just shake your hand. That's great. But tell us a little bit about Paulette Guajardo. There might be some people that say, well, who is this? I've seen her sign out there, but I'm not sure who she is. Let's get a little story, a little bit of bio of Paulette Guajardo.
Sure. So I'm a native of Corpus Christi. I was born and raised right here. My parents, we moved out to Flower Bluff in I was going into middle school, junior high. So we attended Flower Bluff Middle School and High School. My dad worked out at CCAD.
All right.
And then I went on to the university here in Corpus Christi, and I received my business degree there.
Great.
I am married to Victor Guajardo, and some people may know, his dad left a legacy. His dad, Victor Guajardo Sr., was an insurance agent, Baldwin and Port, for many, many years, and very instrumental in Corpus Christi.
Yes.
So we've been married 14 years. We have a little boy who's 11 years old. His name is Jude Victor.
Awesome.
And I opened in 1998. I opened up my Allstate Insurance Agency. And I worked as an insurance agent for 15 years. 2.5 years ago, I sold that business, and I continued my community work. I've always been very involved in the community. I sit on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters, Catholic Charities. I just co-chaired their event last week. Child Protective Services, and several others. So I've always been very involved, and I decided here in the last 2.5 years, not decided, but it's His will.
There you go.
I had to open my heart and be open and try to have the wisdom to know what road am I going to be on. I'm 44 years old. I can't. There has to be something in the future for me that isn't necessarily my will, and I think that's part of as humans. We struggle with that. So, in much prayer, I received the answer, because in looking around, with my friends, my neighbors, I saw that the issues as a city that we have affect us all. And I am just like everyone else. I am everyone else. I'm a mom.
Yes.
I'm a neighbor. I'm a wife. I'm an average person who decided this is what I can do to help my community. I have never left Corpus Christi. My son is growing up. I want this to be a better place for him to be. What can I do to put forth my efforts at this point in my life, which is a huge blessing? I don't work. I am able to put forth everything into making our city and our people better.
I love it. I love it. You're listening to Paulette Guajardo, who is running for City Council at Large here in Corpus Christi. And I love that. Native of Corpus Christi, educated in Corpus, businesswoman, wife, mom. Man, I love it. That's wonderful. So tell us, when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see the name Paulette Guajardo running for City Council at Large, what can they expect? Why should they vote for you and say, you know what, I'm gonna put a check mark by Paulette Guajardo? Why should they do that?
Because I am you. I am you. I am stepping up to put a fresh face and a new perspective. Stepping up, and that's the key. I'm not special. I'm new to the world of politics. I think most people know that, and I'm so proud to say that. I am no different than my neighbor or my child's best friend's mother. I want to bring my business sense and my average sense to the council. I want to help be a solution, be part of the solution to the issues that we have, because we all sit back and say, how could we have 3 water boils? How could this happen? How could, the roads? And those are all issues that those things, they didn't happen overnight, so to speak.
Sure.
So it isn't everyone's duty or time to step up. But if it is, and you have the wisdom to listen to God's word in your life, then you do it, and you'll be guided in the right direction. And I can't tell you enough, in these last 2.5 months, roughly, how much I have been guided in the right direction. And I want to thank everyone who has supported me in every way, not just financially, because we all know it is a camp, or I don't know if we all know, but I found out it is extremely expensive to run a campaign. So, but that's not the most important thing. The people who have prayed for me, the people who have supported me, the people who are voting for me. So I ask everyone, support me. Give me the opportunity to be your voice.
I love your heart, Paulette. I love your vision. I love your thoughts, and I think this is great that you're. She's totally devoting herself to this. So she's a wife, she's a mom, she's a business person, sold her business. You have the availability. I mean, you're not doing this for the money. You're doing this because you love Corpus Christi.
No.
And
$6,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And you love Jude Victor. I love that name.
Jude Victor.
I love that
Saint
name.
Jude.
That's so Bible-ish. I love it. Jude Victor. Well, thanks, Paulette, for stopping by and for being willing to serve our community and serve our families. And I too, I love Corpus Christi. I think it's a wonderful city. I've been here since 1976. I wasn't born here, but been here since 76. And I just think our city is just a beautiful, beautiful city. It's a gem. It's a diamond. Mm-hmm. And people like you can just take us to bigger places, greater places. So,
well, I hope so. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you've just heard Paulette Guajardo. Remember that name, Paulette Guajardo, City Council at Large. When you go to vote, and get out there and vote, remember that name and what she stands for and what she's all about. So thank you, and much success, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless.
All right, you've just been listening to Paulette Guajardo, and she's running for City Council at Large. Back to music and programming, and then we'll have some more candidates here on Inspire the Vote here on 100.3.
Number 1.
Like a lighthouse from the sea. Brother, let me be your shelter. Never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Face down in the desert now. There's a cage locked around my heart. I found a way to drop the keys when my failures were. Now my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for rivalry. I can never take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am strong, but it's your love that brings me home. Brother, let me be your shelter. Never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring it home. And when you call and need me near, say it where you go.
You're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3, and also available to listen and watch at solidrock.tv/live, or you can go to the Solid Rock phone app, download it, hit the live button. So those of you that are watching, hey, good to have you with us. We have another candidate here with City Council, going for City Council District 2, Ben Molina. I want to welcome to the 100.3 Inspire the Vote today, Ben Molina. Ben, welcome to KSRB 100.3, and how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you for just, to me, I'm just congratulating even running for office. I think that's just awesome. I think it's just great. And I'm just fascinated by all the people that are running for office, and I'm loving hearing their backgrounds and their story. And we want to know, first of all, who is Ben Molina? For those that may not know who you are, or they're new to the city, or they're just first time getting out to vote, or they haven't had a chance to find out who are all these candidates. Ben Molina running for City Council, District 2. I'm going to keep saying that name over and over so people remember who they're listening to. But tell us who Ben Molina is.
Well, I'm a graduate of King High School. I'm a family man. Go Mustangs.
That's right.
And I married my high school sweetheart. We've been married for going on 12 years.
That's awesome.
I've got 2 kids. My son is 9 years old, and then my daughter's 5. And I'm also a small business owner. I started with a company right out of high school, and through a lot of hard work, diligence, perseverance, and at the cost of my own blood, sweat, and tears, I'm now the owner of the company.
Fantastic.
So I'm a small business owner, family man, and I'm also devoted to our community. In that time that I've been building my career and building my family, I've also been heavily involved in our community. I started way back when. I served as on the board of directors for Habitat for Humanity, where eventually I served as treasurer, vice president, and then I termed out as president. Served as vice president of Zoning Board of Adjustments. Served on the board of directors for Young Business Professionals. I'm a graduate of Leadership Corpus Christi, class 42.
Awesome.
Best class ever.
Yeah, so is that how you know Christina?
Yes.
Christina Hernandez is here on staff.
We served on the class 43 steering committee.
Awesome.
Together. And currently I'm the president of the West Side Business Association.
Man, that is fantastic. I'm telling you, Ben Molina is a go-getter, y'all. We got some gems here in Corpus Christi, and one of them is Ben Molina. So when they go to the ballot tomorrow, Ben, and they see your name, City Council, District 2, as one of the candidates for that position, Ben Molina, tell the people that are listening why they should vote for Ben Molina.
District 2, I'm here for you. I'm heavily involved in our community. I'm not afraid of hard work, and I've shown that through my dedication to our community, through my dedication in my own career, starting at the bottom until I owned the company. So I'm not afraid to get in there, get my hands dirty. In the experience that I've had serving on various boards and committees, I have that experience of working with in a team environment with many different types of personalities and attitudes. And I know that when you're in those situations, there's a lot of ideas being thrown around. It's important to listen to all those ideas. It's also important that if you agree, whether you agree or disagree, that you still keep communicating. You still keep pushing that ball forward until we reach the goal.
Awesome. I love it. Ben Molina, City Council, District 2, here for you, hardworking, small business owner, family man. Man, I'm loving this. I mean, this guy is just really getting after it. He's served and served and served in our community, and he's ready to take that next step in City Council District 2. That sounds like you're highly qualified, Ben, and it sounds like you love your community, you love family, you want family. I've always said Corpus Christi is a great place to raise a family, and it sounds like you want to make it even better. And man, I just love it. So City Council, District 2, Ben Molina, you've been able to hear his voice and his heart and his vision. So when you make that vote tomorrow, when you go to make that vote, you've been informed, you've been educated. City Council, District 2 candidate Ben Molina. Ben, much success to you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much for coming in, and we wish God's best for you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. That was Ben Molina, City Council, District 2, that you've been learning what he's about. And we're going to continue to move forward with 100.3 Inspire the Vote. Oh, we're having so much fun here. We'll be back in just a moment.
Before the kind of life that I cannot find on my own. I've seen the world, but I have never been so sure that I want your heart. God, I just wanna be where you are, where you are. I just wanna be where you are. Like nothing I've seen, my wildest of dreams don't come close. I've never known better than living like this. I cannot resist you, Lord. I'm lifting you higher, higher. There's nothing that I'd rather do. A sweet elevation of praises. There's no one I love more than you. I never knew a love like this before. The kind of life that I cannot find on my own. I've seen the world, but I have never been so sure that I want your heart. God, I just wanna be where you are, where you are. just wanna be where you are.
You're listening to 100.3 KSRB, and we are doing a special event today called Inspire the Vote, knowing that tomorrow is Election Day. And I'm so privileged and honored to have another candidate who's running for office, Dr. Lori Turner. She is running for Del Mar Board of Regents at Large. Del Mar Board of Regents at Large, Dr. Lori Turner. Dr. Lori, welcome, and how's your day going?
Thank you for inviting me. Well, today's a wonderful day. It's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yes,
Awesome. Happy birthday. Yes, to Dr. Lori Turner.
Yes.
That's awesome. Hey, tell us who Lori Turner is. Tell us who Dr. Lori Turner
I've been
is.
in education for the last 12 years. I teach middle school and I teach American history.
Awesome.
And I'm very proud that I get to teach about freedom and what it means to be an American. And this is, especially around Election Day, this is a perfect time to talk about freedom. I also have a background in education policy. I got my doctorate in education policy, went through
Wow.
Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Awesome, yeah.
I also have a background, I have a master's in public administration, and I have a degree in criminal justice, so I'm well-rounded.
She is well prepared. Dr. Lori Turner running for Del Mar Board of Regents at Large. I love that. So when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see your name there, why should they put a checkbox next to Dr. Lori Turner as running for Del Mar Board of Regents at Large?
Well, right now I sit on the State Board of Educator Certification, so I'm involved in program development and laws and policies, teacher conduct, certification. So I believe in quality education, whether it's K through 12 or higher ed. And with my knowledge and skills and practices, I hope to merge into higher education, especially with many of our youth coming through House Bill 5 with all the trades and all the different programs that our youth are involved in. A lot of them are entering the college at a much earlier age. And as a public education teacher and provider and so forth, I believe that I want to make sure that their education is quality, is not watered down. They are receiving math, science, English, a lot of reading, a lot of writing, and that if they do continue into a trade, that when they leave Del Mar, that they are fully certified so that they can go out and provide for themselves. And so, again, remedial education is there. A lot of our parents are entering the work system at a much later age. A lot of them are displaced workers. They're there for new skills and a set of experiences, and I believe that I can help provide for that. I understand there is that bond issue that's coming forth. Not sure if we really need it. I think, for Del Mar, we really need to focus on the infrastructure that it has and build on what the needs are at this current moment. I believe there's a lot of space that is not being utilized, and let's focus on the programs as well. Our community is very large and very diverse. And so we should really be tying into the community needs and making sure that we have programs that to be utilized into our community. We want our people to stay, and we want them to be functioning. We want them to have a better education, improve their lives as well for the lives for their children. Education is necessary, so let's make sure everyone has a chance.
I love it. Everybody has a chance. She loves education. She loves students. She wants everybody to get a good education. We love Del Mar, Dr. Lori. You're listening to Dr. Lori Turner. She's running for Del Mar Board of Regents at Large. We love Del Mar. Of course, we're right next to Del Mar right here. I mean, the testing center is literally right next to us. And I took a spring semester and a summer semester at Del Mar. My wife attended Del Mar. So we love Del Mar. So we appreciate everything you're doing to get in there and make a difference and help the community. These community colleges are so important to the prosperity of our city, in my opinion. So you're there to do that, and it sounds like you've got a lot of experience in education. So that's wonderful. You've heard from Dr. Lori Turner, Del Mar Board of Regents at-large candidate. So when you go to the ballot tomorrow, remember that name, Dr. Lori Turner. Dr. Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate it, for stopping by, and much success to you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. All right. We're going to continue going forward with 100.3 Inspire the Vote. That was Dr. Lori Turner, Del Mar Board of Regents at-large candidate. Wow, I'm just impressed with all these people. Aren't they amazing? Just amazing, amazing. Some of the residents of Corpus Christi that are willing to step up and serve in public service. All right, I'll be back with our next candidate in just a couple of minutes. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Tell your friends and neighbors what's going on. Tell them they can watch on Facebook. They can watch solidrock.tv/live. They can watch on the Solid Rock phone app. Just look up Solid Rock Church Corpus Christi. Or, of course, right here on 100.3. All right, I'll be back in just a moment.
God, I just wanna be where you are. Where you are. I just wanna be where you are. Like nothing I've seen. My wildest of dreams don't come close. I've never known better than living like this. I cannot resist.
You're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3 FM. Lots of candidates that have come in today to share their voice and as to why they should be, why you should vote for them. And so right now, I'm very honored to have with us Velma Arellano, who is running for Texas Senate District 20. That correct? How am I saying it?
Is.
Welcome to 100.3, Velma.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. You doing well today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, and we're coming down to the wire here. And for people who may not know, who is Velma Arellano? You are running for the Texas Senate District 20. What a great honor that would be. And first of all, let's get to know who exactly Velma Arellano is. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a mother of 3. I was a mother of 4, but I lost my oldest to an alcohol-related accident.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that.
So, yes. And so I have been, I have always been a public advocate, so to speak, in
Sure.
so many ways. I have, losing my son, that was my first time ever going out in public, speaking to a big, huge, as a matter of fact, it was at my son's high school.
Wow.
And that was the first time I ever addressed anybody. And it was something very, very dear to me. It was a passion.
Sure.
And I just wanted to spread the word, spread the news that, educate them what happened to me personally.
Right.
Educate them about the dangers of drinking and driving.
Wow.
And so, like I said, I'm a mother of 3, 2 boys and a girl. And I'm a neighbor, mother,
Good.
friend, sister.
Love it.
Yes, and so I'm just like you.
Sounds like you're for real. I love it. You're for real. And
I'm not a career politician. I'm not a polished politician, and I certainly am not a public speaker.
Well,
I just speak from the heart.
I love it. Well, you're doing great, and I love that. And I love your heart. And you are running for, again, you're listening to Velma Arellano running for Texas Senate District 20. And when they go to the ballot tomorrow, they're going to see 2 names there for District 20's Texas Senate. Why should they vote for Velma Arellano? We'll give you a couple of minutes to tell the people, this is why you should vote for me.
You should vote for me because I come with experience, I come with honesty, integrity,
Love it.
and I have leadership. I am an individual that was appointed by the Texas Supreme Court to the Judicial Branch Certification Board. I am a commission member there. That's an experience that I have that overlooks 4 professions.
Wow.
And also, too, I have been appointed to the Court Report Certification Board. And I have also been a firm owner, a freelance court reporting
yes.
firm. So I know a little about, the running a business and just listening. My
Yes.
profession, I went to college and graduated from college in court reporting. So I'm a listener. I'm a professional listener. And I hear the concerns.
So good. I love that. Let me tell you something. We need more listeners today. We really do. I mean, everybody's ready to blah, 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 blah. We need listeners who can hear the heart of the people, the community. And I think that's great. I mean, listening is such a skill and a talent. And I love that. I love that, Velma. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, and also, too, my platform is so huge. I have a big platform. But the main thing that I'm really running, I'm a pro-veteran. And everything that I believe in, it's because of my personal experience in life. And God doesn't give you no more than what you can handle. And let me tell you, my life has been very, very, even though I've had tragedies, I've turned them into being positive.
Wow.
Pro-life.
Yep.
I'm losing my twins. So I want to be the voice of the unborn.
Yes, yes,
Pro-veteran, my sister, my brother-in-law, my former husband, my 2 uncles, you know, that they served in the Nam War, my brother-in-law in Desert Storm, the Gulf War.
Wow.
So everything that I believe in, pro-veteran,
Yes.
and, you know, we have issues with our veterans coming back.
Right.
And I'm an official Corps reporter down in the Valley. I was born and raised here.
I see.
Went to school here, Tulsa Midway.
Okay,
Graduated
good.
from Del Mar.
Yeah.
So I'm from here, but I moved to the Valley 2 years ago. And the court that I sit in is also a veterans court.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would just take one day out of your busy schedules and go to the courts and sit there and see what our veterans are having to endure day in and day out.
Sure.
And having to be, you know, they're self-medicating themselves. They end up being in the judicial system. And we need to be able to help our veterans to be able to be productive citizens without having to self-medicate themselves and becoming a part of the judicial system.
Wow.
And also law enforcement. My former husband was a law enforcement officer. And we need to help our officers, law enforcement, regain that respect that they so do deserve.
Absolutely.
And give them the tools that they need to do their jobs.
Absolutely. You're listening to Velma Arellano, running for Texas Senate District 20. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm looking at your card here that you gave me. Velma Arellano for Texas Senator 2016, pro-life, pro-gun, pro-veteran, limited government, lower taxes, pro-law enforcement. All right, you're getting to hear. You're getting informed. And so, Velma, thank you.
Thank you for having
Thanks for
me.
stopping. Thanks for making the trip to come up.
Thank
and, you know, from all the way from the Valley. And you are running for Texas Senate, which includes all this area of South Texas. So, you know, we're honored to have you. And thank you for taking the time to stop by 100.3. And we wish much success to you. And may God richly bless you.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
Velma.
that.
Thank you. Again, that's Velma Arellano running for Texas Senate District 20. Get out there and vote. Now you've been informed. You know who's running for Texas Senator here in the South Texas area. All right, we'll go back to some more music, and then we'll have some more candidates right here on 100.3 Inspire the Vote.
Come down to the river. Come and let yourself in. Oh, you rich men and the high above, all of those with and without love, all you burning, broken down, and all of your troubles, come lay 'em down, come lay 'em down, come lay 'em down, come lay 'em down.
You're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote today. We're having a great time. Lots of great people stopping by today that are running for office in tomorrow's election, and just really learning a lot. I have another guest here with us at the 100.3 Inspire the Vote, and that is Ina Klein, who is running for 214th District Court Judge. 214th District Court Judge Ina Klein is the candidate. And welcome to 100.3, and how you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here and for doing this informational meeting.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. Well, let's first of all get to know who Ina Klein is. For those that are maybe new to the area or people haven't had a chance to really study some of the candidates, let's get to know Ina Klein so that when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see your name and they go, oh, I remember, she's the one that... Tell us who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm Ina Klein. I am a mom, a daughter, a wife. I chaperone field trips. I'm
Awesome.
a former felony prosecutor. I am a current municipal court judge assigned to the juvenile caseload. I live next door to you.
Yeah.
I'm an immigrant. My family immigrated in the beginning of the 90s, and I love this country and I love this city.
Ah, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, when they go to the ballot tomorrow, they're going to see two names, I would imagine, for the 204th District Court Judge. First of all, what is the role of the 214th District Court Judge? Just a real quick answer, if you could tell us.
Okay, so we have 8 district courts in this county, and they pretty much do the same thing. And the cases are assigned randomly, and they can fall in any one of those 8 courts. They do custody cases, they do divorce cases, they do felony criminal cases, and they do civil cases in a certain amount.
Okay, good. That's very informative. So tell us, when they go to the ballot tomorrow and they see Ina Klein on the ballot for 214th District Court Judge, why should they put a checkbox next to your name? Why should people vote for you?
Well, I think because I bring a very unique background and experience to this position. As I said, I'm very involved in the community. The safety of this community is paramount to me.
Yes.
I come from the country where there was no judicial process, and so I was not born with the rights that we have here, and I don't take any of them for granted.
Wow.
So I'm a stickler for those rights.
Yes.
I started out with the public defender's office, then I practiced civil law, then I was a felony prosecutor for 6 years here for the county, prosecuting all kinds of heinous crimes. And since 2013, I've been a municipal court judge, and I'm assigned to the juvenile caseload and deal with some really heartbreaking cases involving our youth and addiction and mental health and how it affects families.
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like you've got a heart for people and a love for people, but yet you want to be good and true to the law. You're listening to Ina Klein, running for 204th District Court Judge. A lot of experience there. You can already tell she's got much experience of being in the courts. She's ready to step up and serve in this capacity. Sounds like she's qualified. She's informed. She's ready to serve our community, keep us safe, and do what is right and just. Ina Klein, 214th District Court Judge candidate. So, Ina, thank you for stopping by. I'm very impressed, and we wish God's best and much success to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. God bless you. That was, again, Ina Klein running for 214th District Court Judge. When you go tomorrow, you know exactly what that name represents and who you're voting for if you decide to go that way. All right? So we'll continue on with more programming here on 100.3 Inspire the Vote.
All of your trouble, come lay 'em down. All you sinners and the weak at heart, all you helpless on the boulevard. Wherever you are now, whatever evil you found, bring all of your trouble, come lay 'em down. We're all tied to the same old failing, finding shelter, things we know. We're all dirty, like corrupted small towns. Bring our trouble, bring our trouble, lay 'em down.
You're listening to Inspire the Vote right here on 100.3. This is Steve Coronado coming at you. We've had so many great candidates stopping by our studio today to inform us and educate us for tomorrow's election. It's a very important election. It means a lot to us, not only on a national level, but on a local level. We've had various city council members, I should say candidates, that are running for office. And we have another city council at large candidate who is here in the studio. I want to welcome Margarita Fratella, who is running for city council at large here in Corpus Christi. Welcome, Margarita, and great to have you today. How are you?
Thank you so much, Pastor Coronado. You're just amazing. For the past few days, when I heard about your station and yourself, I feel like I'm living here. You are just an inspiration for our city, and this is what city of Corpus Christi should be about. It should be about about body of Christ should be about what you're preaching, should be about what you're teaching people about election, and what you're teaching them how to choose the right candidates, not
Thank
do
you.
the any money, whatever you said.
Yes,
But
yes.
yesterday, I was witnessing 2 of your services, and I'm just in shock. Probably I changed my church. I'm coming here.
Well, we were
No.
we were so fortunate. We had a few other candidates, but thank you for stopping by yesterday to worship with us. Number one, and number two, to have a chance to meet the people and shake hands with the people. That's good. But we want to know, who is Margarita Fratilla? I think you have a great story, and but for the people that may not know, excuse me, who is Margarita? Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Pastor Coronado, I came here 34 years ago. I crossed the Harbor Bridge in a Greyhound that I jumped in when I was in Houston, and I saw the city Corpus. I saw Corpus Christi. I didn't even know that it's a city. I thought that the name of the Greyhound is Corpus Christi. When I heard that Corpus Christi, it's a body of Christ, I said, I'm going to jump in this Greyhound.
All right.
By the way, 7:30 in the morning, I was crossing the Harbor Bridge, and I saw the beauty of this Gulf of Mexico, which is a jewel of the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes.
And I said, you know what, this is a blessed city, and I don't even know if I can have a chance to ever even have a job, because we associate wealth with water and health. And I thought it is a resort for the millionaires. Sure enough, I didn't have money to go back, and I remain in Corpus Christi, and unfortunately I had to leave 2 children behind in Romania. They were hostages there, and Corpus
Wow.
Christi, city of Corpus Christi people, they had a chance to know me in that time when I was struggling with bringing the children here, and I was involved with the President of the United States that helped me to bring the children here. I was with Senator, Congressman, Mr. and Mrs. Reagan, President Bush, all of them. They were like a team together, because I could have never brought my children.
Wow.
5 years took an effort.
Wow.
And people in Corpus Christi know my story of struggle and success, and my dream was always to have my own business, and I opened my business, Margaret's Greenhouse, European Floral Design. I love this business. It's a third next to my first and second child, so it's like 3 children, my 2 children, my daughter, my son, and my business.
Awesome.
I love the business. Only in America you can do that, and I reside in Corpus Christi for 34 years. I educate my children here. My son is a doctor, anesthesiologist to Bay Area. I manage it. He come back here because of the water. He is amazing surfer.
So your son is an anesthesiologist here at Bay Area
At the
Hospital.
Bay Area
Ah,
Hospital
that's
here, coming back to
fantastic.
serve the community. They
Awesome,
raised him,
awesome,
and
awesome.
And everybody knew he was straight A student. Since the first grade, graduated with honor from medical school, and he's here to invest in Corpus Christi and help people in Corpus Christi to live better, think better, and live better.
Yeah, that's right.
As I say, and my daughter was educated here also, and she graduated from UT, Master in Professional Accounting. She's a hedge funds manager in New York City.
My goodness.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And the people knows the story, and real people have a lot of respect, because I was working day and night. It's not only having one business, Pastor Colorado. I always had another 2-3 jobs beside my business.
Wow.
And I was always trustful in God. I mean, it's nothing, nobody else. Like you said, you know what? Let God to be the one that appreciate you. Let He be the one that open the door for
Right.
you. And defecting from a country where the religion was prohibited, and coming here and getting involved not only in my children's school. I was always in the PTA. When the children are small, you have to stay with your children where they are.
Sure.
School board, PTA, and then also I was involved very much into a lot of nonprofit organization. And I am right now member of the Legal Women Voter, director of hospitality. I was involved in 3 boards for the city of Corpus Christi. I'm very familiar with what's happening in Corpus Christi City Hall. I am there participating to every meeting over there, council meeting. I am friend with each and every one from the city council, and I love them. I'm a team player. I'm a mediator. I also went and I continue my education, even that I have a Master of Science in Horticulture. I went back to A&M University. I got my Master in Business. I went in a Naval Air Station. I got my Business Management, Human Resources Development.
Amazing.
So education is for me the key. Pastor Cornell, I came here with nothing. If I wouldn't have my education, I told my children, it's who you are, not what you have. The material things means nothing. You leave everything behind. And this God is using you. When you don't have anything, God is using you, because you don't have this wall of wealth. I manage over thousands and thousands of property, real estate properties. I'm a master investor. I'm a business consultant for the medical offices, and also business consultant for the oil companies.
Wow. My goodness. You need to come over here to Solid Rock and just share your testimony sometime.
I would love to. I would
That
love
would
to. And
be
I'm making a movie, Flight to
amazing.
Freedom. So
Oh my
I wanted,
gosh.
yes. I
Well, listen,
really,
I've got other candidates waiting, but one more question. When the people go to the ballot tomorrow and they're going to see some names for city council at large, they have the opportunity to put a check box right there, on a check on your box, on your name. Why should they vote for Margarita Fratilla, City Council at large?
I think that first of all, they have to walk there and they make peace of God. They have to pray about that. And peace of God is number 2. So I'm number 2 in the ballot.
Okay, number 2.
Second,
all right.
Yeah, number 2. Second, they have to remember that these people, they are candidates there. You have to look a little bit behind. What is their motivation? I ran an election in 2014. I got 7,000 votes from 35,000 votes. I never pushed me to come in this position. Never have anybody behind to push me with the money to come in this position. I work in my own. I did my own campaign. I'm like between me and God. What is it? And then also, I'm very well known in this community by doing a lot of goods for people. And I feel like if I raise my family and I accomplish my dream, I want the people here to accomplish their dream. When they look to this name, when they look to this name and they remember, a lot of them they remember my name from the from my story and for what I'm involved in, and they know that I'm for God, I'm for City of Corpus Christi, I am for the people that they are middle income, to take all these houses away, that they are barricaded, and give it to them for small business, people to can enjoy, to have like no taxes. And also they will know my name from Margaret's European Floral Design, so they know that I'm serving this community, and the experience count. When they will look there to the name, I'm sure that a lot of them, they remember the name, they remember my election last time when I was running against 2 very hard incumbents last time. And right now, my city council fellow members, they know that we are a team together. I'm a certified mediator, so a lot of people, they will remember this name. And education count, and the fact that I will never give up in people involvement in any kind of board that I can be. This is a management position, managing $1 billion. I never borrow a penny from anybody, no credit cards, no building my business in the money they belong to somebody else. And I think that having the money of people in Corpus Christi, I'm going to be liable. I will balance the budget at the city of Corpus Christi, and I will be sure that this $1 billion bridge that comes in Corpus Christi is not going to land up in a holes in the streets.
Sure.
And we have the money here from this beautiful water that we have, to stay in a gold pot. And I want to do revivals that you can be in charge to bring people here, like they go to Mecca and go in pilgrimage from the cathedral to the cold park. And I would like for you to be in charge of that. If I will be elected, I'm going to have Pastor Coronado to do this pilgrimage, and we will have so much money, and we will have sidewalk in the islands where the people cannot walk. They have to walk in the street.
Yes.
And I wanted to make this city to be the really sparkling city by the sea, beautiful, and keep the name Corpus Christi, Body of Christ.
Wow. I'm just impressed. I love it. I love it. I love it. You've been listening to Margarita Fratilla, running for city council at large. I'm just blown away with your heart, your story, your education, your children. I mean, I could talk all day with you. This is so good. But we'll have you back sometime. Whether you get on city council or not, we're going to have you back sometime, so we can just. I love that what you said, that you reached some dreams, but now you want to help people in Corpus Christi reach their dreams. I love that. So listen, we've got
also, Pastor Coronado, I always said, when I hear from you, it's confirmation. I'm crowned with the crown of glory and honor.
Awesome.
God's crown of glory and honor.
Amen.
That's why my mother raised me with that.
That's good.
Thought. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you.
I
Much
will
success to you.
Here.
Okay, Margarita Fratilla, running for city council at large. Wow, what a great story. What a great interview. We're going to continue with 100.3 Inspire the Vote. Don't go away. All right, we are continuing on with Inspire the Vote 100.3, and we're just having a great time. We've been having lots of candidates come in to share their voice, their heart, what they stand for, and I'm privileged and honored to have with us now Marty Bell, who is running for Corpus Christi Independent School District at large candidate, CCISD at large candidate. Welcome, Marty, and how you doing today?
Hey, I tell you what, thank you for letting me come on this afternoon. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yes, it is.
You guys have a big window, and you can kind of see the sun peeking through. But man, it's a fabulous day in Corpus Corpus Christi today.
Yes, it is. And everybody's excited about the election coming up tomorrow.
Yes, they
and thank
are.
you so much for stopping by. But let's find out a little bit about who Marty Bell is. For those that might be unfamiliar and they haven't done their research
Sure.
yet, let's find out who is Marty Bell.
Sure. Shannon Elementary, Tom Brown Middle School, Carroll High School.
Awesome.
I know you're a King guy.
Yep.
But that's my in CCISD my path. I did go to Del Mar for a semester during the summertime. I did my master's work over at A&M Corpus Christi.
Fantastic.
I did get my bachelor's from Texas A&M. I know your daughter went to Texas, but that's okay. Anyway, so I've been tuned in, tied into the educational process here in Corpus Christi. Last May, I retired from teaching after 34 years in the classroom as a teacher and a coach.
Fantastic.
It is a pretty incredible journey over the last 34 years, and the last 18 were actually teaching at Carroll High School, my alma mater, and as a teacher and a coach. And so, in retirement, my wife teaches over at Ray. I have a daughter that teaches at Ray High School.
Great.
My son is currently teaching up at George West High School. So we talk education in our house.
Big time.
And we talk CCISD in our household. And over the last 18 years, I just found myself saying, we can do better than this. We're here, but we need to take it here. And I thought having a teacher on the school board, having a teacher on the school board might be a good idea.
Absolutely.
We currently have some administrators and business folks and volunteers, but there's not really one that has a voice for the teachers and the employees of CCISD. And so, after a lot of prayer, conversation with my family, I'm doing something that's completely out of my wheelhouse, but it's also been pretty exciting meeting and visiting with lots of folks. And so that's kind of where I am in terms of my background and how I got here.
I like it. Marty Bell,
Sure.
running for CCISD School Board, parent, teacher, coach.
That's it.
Wow, lots of experience there. So that's kind of already answered some of our question, but let's talk
Right.
specifically tomorrow when people go to the ballot and they see your name up there, Marty Bell, CCISD at-large candidate. Why should they put a check mark next to that box?
Yeah, they should put the check mark next to number 2 on the ballot, Marty Bell, because I'm going to be a voice for the teachers and the employees of CCISD. I served on the district advisory team. I was elected by Carroll High School to serve on the DAT, which is a collection of community members, teachers, administrators that serve as advisory to the administrative team. And within that board, I was also elected as the vice chairman to lead them as well. I served on the consultation committee for CCISD as well, which is a collection of 12 elected folks from the employees of CCISD that represent very specific groups that give a voice to the employees to our superintendent and the school board. I was selected by the coaches and the trainers to represent them on the consultation committee.
Awesome.
And I was elected by the consultation committee to actually lead them as a co-chairman for that as well. And they cover all variety of issues within CCISD. So I've been training for this job for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And so now I have an opportunity to put that training into play, to be a school board member and be able to say, everybody talks about, we want to give the teachers what they need, the teachers, we're going to give them what they need. I can tell the school board and the administrations, and this is what the teachers need, because I spent 34 years in the classroom.
Yep, exactly.
And so that it's not a matter of, hey, well, do they really need this? Do they? Nah, yeah, they need that and whatnot. And so I can bring that voice to. And the biggest thing is I'm the one candidate that understands that connection between the teacher and the student, and that's so crucial because it's in the classroom. That's where the magic's going to happen.
Sure, exactly.
And that's where our kiddos are going to learn, and they're going to set that foundation. And I've often said that your education is going to determine your vocation.
Wow,
and,
come on.
And if you get that education, you're going to be able to lift yourself up and the people around you up as well, and have a very fulfilling life. And I just truly believe that.
Man, I love that. I love that kind of language. Lift you up, get an education, live a better life. I love that. You've been listening to Marty Bell,
Number two,
running for CCISD at-large candidate and parent, teacher, coach. He's got the perspective from all angles. I love that. So, hey, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Much success to you.
I appreciate you guys doing this day before the election.
Yeah.
You're running all these people in here, but you give a voice to the signs that you see around Corpus Christi.
Exactly.
There's a few of them around here in Corpus Christi and whatnot.
Exactly.
And hopefully people will tune in and they'll listen and have done their research. When they do go, they can make a very educated voice, have a very educated vote and whatnot. So Marty Bell, number two on the ballot, but number one for the 39,000 students in CCISD.
Wow. Well said, man. Well said. I'm impressed. Thank you, Marty. Marty Bell, CCISD
you guys
School Board.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day. All right. You just heard from Marty Bell running for CCISD at-large candidate number 2, I think he said, on the ballot. So fantastic, man. He's been a parent, he's been a teacher, he's a coach. So we're learning a lot, man. We've got some great candidates still coming up. Do not go away. We're going to keep moving forward. I think we have the congressman in the House, as in United States congressman. I'm not sure if he's next or not, but he's here. All right. We're going to keep moving forward. You're listening to Inspire the Vote 100.3.
Round again, but people, we were meant to blaze a life that's beautiful. Yeah, we got so much love to give. Don't look to the left or right. You know the future's worth the fight. Don't look to the left or right. Hey, yeah. LOVE rolls off the tongue, but sometimes the word's just not enough. Gotta dig a little deeper. You gotta love with your life, like a fire burning strong till the night is coming gone. There's a hope that lives in you. You gotta love with your life, like a warrior fight, lay it on the line. If you wanna see a change, you gotta love with your life. You crash into a brand new day. The world's up in your face, and they're gonna whisper in your ear. Just push them back, you need your space to be who you wanna be. You got so much more to give. Don't look to the left or right. You know the future's worth the fight. Don't look to the left or right. You gotta love with your life, like a fire burning strong till the night is coming.
100.3 Inspire the Vote. That's what we're doing today. Special programming to get you informed and educated. Nobody should go to the ballot tomorrow and go, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. You need to be informed and educated. And I'm so honored today to introduce to our listening audience today, Blake Farenthold, the current U.S. Congress House of Representatives for this area, the 27th District of Texas. Well, welcome, and glad to have you here. Welcome to 100.3, Congressman.
It's great to be here, and you got all sorts of candidates here. This is just a phenomenal service you guys are doing. It's a privilege to be with you.
Yeah, and as I said when we first started this, nobody's paying us. There's no advertising money going here. We're just doing this as a public service. The Lord blessed us with this station, and the FCC chose us as the nonprofit local entity to do this, and with 100.3. So we're glad to do this of service. But thank you for serving in the House of Representatives as our congressman, and for all that you have already done in serving our community. And again, we're privileged and honored to have you here. But there might be, Congressman, there might be some people that are here new to the Corpus Christi area. There might be some young voters that are just first time for them to vote. We've actually got some government classes in some of the high schools that are actually watching this through the live stream. And so let's let them know, who is Blake Farenthold? Let's get a little bio, a little story, and who you are. We'd love to hear about who is Blake Farenthold.
Well, I'm a 7th-generation Texan, born and raised here in Corpus Christi. Rand Morgan Road is named after my great-grandfather, Rand Morgan.
Goodness, that's awesome.
Farmer and rancher in the area.
Wow.
Lived here almost all my life. Went to Kearney Word High School. Went to college, University of Texas, Hook'em Horns.
Hook'em Horns. That's my daughter. She just graduated there a couple years ago.
Congratulations. Got a radio, television, film degree from there. Then went into law school at St. Mary's in San Antonio. back in high school, I was a disc jockey on the radio, worked at KRYS and KZFM
Cool.
and some stations in Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah.
And so
you're familiar with this surrounding for
I
sure.
am. I'm right at home. Went on, practiced law for a while, then started a computer consulting company, Farrenthal Consulting. We did networking and web design. Then I went back on talk radio, doing a lot of talk radio. It's amazing how God prepares you for the jobs you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Being on the radio got me not afraid to be in front of a microphone. Going to law school, practicing law, taught me the importance of what the law actually says. Then owning a small business taught me about what it's like to sign the front side of a paycheck. So God was preparing me for this. One day decided that I was throwing rocks, needed to get off the sidelines and do it. Went to a seminar at a church where the preacher actually said, God puts opportunities in front of you. It's up to you to choose them. And my kids were off at school. I'd sold the computer business and we're wrapping everything up with that. And it just occurred to me that I need to run for Congress. And I literally, the last day, I could either turn right and go home or turn left and go to Austin to file. I turned left, went to Austin, filed, and won.
Man, that's a great journey. What a great story. And so you've been serving now as our representative in Congress. How long now?
3 terms.
3
So
terms.
since 2010.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Well, I need to. If you get reelected, I need to go to Washington and look you up sometime. I love Washington D.C. If anybody's never been there, it's just a great place. And as a Christian, I love seeing all the heritage of the Christian faith all over Washington D.C. On the monuments and the buildings, and it's just so filled with.
You hear all the talk about separation of church and state today, but our country was founded and inspired by God. We start every session of the House of Representatives with a prayer, and it's important.
Yes. Well, let's ask you this question that we've been asking all of our candidates, and it's a simple question, but when people go tomorrow to the ballot, they see your name there, you're running for the U.S. Congress, House of Representatives, and they see the name Blake Farrenthal. Why should they vote for you to stay in that position?
Well, I'm from here. I'm not a Washington insider. I come home almost every weekend, and I listen to folks. And
it's great.
And I'm for our Texas values.
I love that.
That's life. That's keeping our country safe. We've got to bring the Texas values to the country. A lot of folks, a lot of states and governments have lost their way, and they're not about doing the right thing. They're about doing what feels good at the time or what makes them the most money. And we've got to get away from that and get back to what's best for the country.
Absolutely. Well, you've represented us well. We're so proud of you, and we thank you for your service and the honor that you have brought to our area. And there's a lot of great things happening in our local area that you're having to represent us for up in Washington. A lot of the changes and the progress and the good things that are happening. So we appreciate it very,
and y'all
very much.
keep me posted on what you're doing on this radio station and in the church. I'm going to put this on my list to come spend a Sunday with y'all.
That'd be
come
great.
back to the movie theater of my youth and worship there.
Exactly. No, we'd be honored to have you. We'd love to have you. So you've been hearing from Blake Farrenthal. He's looking for re-election in the U.S. Congress, House of Representatives for the 27th District of Texas. Thank you very much, Congressman.
Great seeing you.
Much success,
Great
and God
visiting.
bless you. All right. We're going to continue on with the Inspire the Vote that we're doing today on 100.3. You just heard from our current congressman in the House of Representatives for the 27th District of Texas, Blake Farrenthal. What an honor to have him today. But you know what? It's your choice. It's your vote. When you go in tomorrow, who are you going to vote for? We're getting you informed. We're getting you educated. And that's what we're doing today. So we're going to continue on with more of our elections and candidates. So we'll go back to music, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Inside, there's a better life. There's a better life. If you got pain, he's a pain taker. If you feel lost, he's a way maker. If you need freedom, a savior, he's a prison shaking savior. If you got chains, he's a chain breaker. We've all searched for the light of day in the dead of night. We've all found ourselves wanted. You can feel it. Somebody testify, testify. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you got faith.
You're listening to 100.3. This is Inspire the Vote, getting you inspired, educated, informed, so that when you go tomorrow to vote, which is so important that you do that, get out there and vote. And we've had several candidates that have come and be with us. We just had our U.S. Congressman Blake Farenthold with us. And now we have someone who's running for CCISD School Board at Large. And this is Jaime Arredondo. And I had a chance to talk with him the other day, and he's here with us. And so, again, Jaime Arredondo running for CCISD School Board at Large. Welcome, Mr. Arredondo, and how are you doing today?
Well, thank you very much. I'm doing great. Just realizing we're just a few hours away from the big vote, and encouraging everybody that hasn't to be sure and exercise their right to do that. And those that have, thank you for voting, whether they voted for me or not. The main thing is they've made sure that their voice has been heard and done the right thing.
Exactly. Well, listen, we want people to know who you are, and I was really impressed with your kind of your story, your background, your resume, I guess you could call it, but really a person who loves education. But this is Jaime Arredondo running for CCISD School Board at Large. But when they see that name tomorrow on the ballot, Jaime Arredondo, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and some of your background.
Very well. Yes, I've had 37 years of educational experience. I know that people talk about making sure we have educators on the board, teachers, etc. But as an educator, certainly where I started and where I've gotten to, I started first being a teacher, then became a principal, had an opportunity to work with the migrant education programs of the state of Montana during the summers as we progressed through our career, and ultimately became the state director of that program.
Great.
Spent 4.5 years out in the beautiful Big Sky country.
Oh, wow, nice.
And then my wife and I returned to Austin, where I worked on a doctoral fellowship, and then was offered the opportunity to come to Corpus, and it was at a time and a place with 6 children, and wanted to do something different. We made the choice, did it, don't regret it. Spent 22 years in the central office.
Wow.
Was a school services director, working with all the campuses at all levels, all special campuses, and it really gave me a chance to work with all the community. And that was one of the aspects that I thoroughly enjoyed. Trying to listen to parents' concerns, patrons' concerns, including teacher personnel and staff concerns, and try to come with some solutions to those concerns. And that aspect really refined my skill of listening, patience, and certainly decision making. So had a lot to do, different other aspects of experiences that we had, and just very glad to have the opportunity to have a passion in my career come together at this opportunity to serve the district in this capacity, and looking forward to hopefully being one of those school board members.
That's great, and that passion sounds like it's been passed on to some family. You've got some family as well that's involved in education.
Well, my wife is a retired educator. I've got my 3 sons who are educators, as well as their spouses.
Wow.
But
amazing.
You might say the seed began with my parents. They together, in their experience, had close to 92 years of experience teaching, and my father was a principal his last couple of years. But one of the main thing was their teachings of core values of family, respect, and service, always giving back, if nothing, just a small way for anything that has come your way, to try to make you better and make other things better. And that's another reason why I'm running for the school board.
That is fantastic. Well, obviously the qualifications are there. Obviously the heritage is there. Amazing. But let's ask this question, and our final question. When people go to the ballot tomorrow and they see the name again, Jaime Arredondo, what can they expect from you? Why should they vote for you when they put that that little check mark on your box? Why should they vote for Jaime Arredondo to be on CCISD School Board at Large?
The main thing is at large, and that candidacy means to be a spokesman for the entire community, not just one district.
Yeah.
Having had the experience of working with the community and understanding those issues that exist throughout CCISD is one major aspect that I feel that is a cut and above of the other candidates. Having the comprehensive experience of budgets, personnel, communication, board relations, been in executive sessions, developed board policies, understanding our taxing, making sure that we have safe and secure schools. Isn't the second aspect of that comprehensiveness of experiences. But beyond that, I think points that, since I've learned that I want to try to make a difference in, is trying to help the district have a more aggressive process to engage the community and be transparent about communicating our needs.
That's good.
I think we've had a little bit of challenges with that over the recent times. Nothing significant, but more important, something that can be done better. And I think with the entirety of my experience, I can help with that. Also, I think that as you look at what CCISD is and hope that it can be as a vision, we need to be a district of choice. We're having many challenges within the community and across the state as far as charter schools, school choices. And I think that the way to combat that or give it a better option for our parents in our community is to make sure we have a quality education, something that really provides for our students, but also a process that we value our personnel. And that's the last thing I want to leave you all with, is that I really feel that and I'm encouraged that the district has begun to look at benefit packages and salaries for our personnel. But it's something that needs to really be looked at more carefully, and hopefully we can make sure things are more equitable for them.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, you've been listening to Jaime Arredondo. Remember that name, Jaime Arredondo, running for CCISD School Board at Large. A lot of experience, a lot of passion for education, and wow, I just see experience and leadership. So that's wonderful. Again, Jaime Arredondo. Remember that name when you go to tomorrow to vote, CCISD School Board at Large. Thank you so much, Mr. Arredondo, for coming by.
Thank you for having us.
And we've just been impressed with your story and your resume, and we wish God's best and much success to you, sir.
Thank you so much. You bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you're listening to Inspire the Vote right here on 100.3, and you've heard from Jaime Arredondo, CCISD School Board at Large. We've got more candidates coming for you today. Stay with us, and we'll go back to music on here on 100.3.
Airs this Sunday at 8:30, 10, or 11:30 a.m. or at 4922 Yorktown Boulevard this Sunday at 10 or 11:30 a.m. For more information, go to solidrock.tv. That's solidrock.tv.
You're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote. We have heard from so many different candidates, and I tell you, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with all the people that are coming in. I'm impressed with the people of the local area that are stepping up, willing to serve our community. It's just been tremendous. I have a great friend of mine, Joseph Ramirez, who is with me. He is formerly was the Nueces County Democratic Party chairman, and did a great job at that, and he's still serving the community and involved in so many different ways. This guy has a gift of getting people networked and connected and bringing people together, and I love that. But I wanted him to come by today, and Joseph Ramirez, again, welcome to 100.3. Thanks for stopping by today. How you doing?
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you for setting this up. It's really nice. It's and I heard you saying earlier, this is a good way to give back to the community, to let people know what's going on.
Exactly. And the reason I wanted you to come in is, Joseph, there are a lot of people that really just, I hate to say it, but there's just, and it's not their fault necessarily, but just the lack of education or lack of information or ignorance or whatever. They're not familiar with all this process, and they need to know how do I go vote and where do I go, and I remember I was here at church and I registered to vote, or wherever they were at, they registered to vote, but they want to know how to make an informed vote, and of course there's places where they can go and learn about the candidates, but also when they go to vote, where do they go, what do they need to take, what do they need to have. We don't want you to show up and go, what? Oh, I have to go back home, or what do I do? So give us some good information and educate the people that are listening right now. And of course, we've got people watching on solidrock.tv/live. We've got people watching on our phone app, so they're watching by video. They're listening on 100.3. We've even had some government classes that are getting education and watching this whole process. So give us some good information as to what people can expect tomorrow and what they should do as they get ready to go out and vote on this very important election.
Well, Pastor, first of all, tomorrow is going to be a historic day for many reasons. But here in our area, Coastal Bend, where we're looking at, other than the presidential, there's so many races, and all these people are working together, like the school board members and the council members. So the people that are come out to vote for president, and then there's all the other families, and then everybody's going to bring their friends.
Sure.
So you might have a little congestion at the polls tomorrow morning. So one thing I want to urge everybody, and I tell this to all the people, to our workers and everything, just be kind.
That's right.
Just be kind for a little bit. I know
Exactly.
things will get tough. And another thing is we're using a brand new system for the first time here in Nueces County. So traditionally, a lot of our workers are people who have time that probably don't work anymore. They're retired. The new system actually runs on a tablet, like an iPad
Oh,
system.
really?
Where it
Wow.
used to be, you'd walk in and say, hey, my name's Steve, and I live over here. And they'd look you up on a list, check you off, and give you a number.
Right.
Now they're having to maneuver iPads. And
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Be
Interesting.
understanding with the workers as well.
Yeah,
They
new technology.
Yeah, it's new technology, and the workforce isn't as young as it probably should be. So, that being said, let's have a little patience. We also have new laws that don't have a clear definition yet. The federal court here, Judge Nelva Ramos, struck down the voter ID law. Went to the appellate court, and they said, "Yeah, you're right, but how do we fix it?" So they sent it back down to Nelva's court, and then she said, "Well, let's fix it this way," and they said, "Well, no." So they met in the middle. It used to be you had to have a current driver's license to vote.
Okay.
And that is still the easiest way. Me, myself, I don't carry my voter ID. I just show them my license and in and out. There are some people that don't have it for whatever reason.
Sure.
Or it might have just expired. If your ID is within 4 years, if it expired within 4 years, you can still use it, no problem. If for whatever reason you do not have your ID, form of ID, there are other forms. Your voter registration certificate that you got from the county.
Okay.
You can use that. A birth certificate, a current utility bill, a bank statement.
Wow.
A government check or a paycheck that has your name and address on it to show. So
making it easier and simple.
yeah,
Just in
so
case.
there are other options if you do not have. Again, the easiest way is if you do have an ID, go in.
Sure.
But if you do not, don't get discouraged.
That's making it easy. They want people to get out there and vote. They don't want you to have an excuse not to vote.
And again, this issue is a heated issue. Depending on who you ask, they're going to say you're going to have extremes on this.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people are out there working, and we've had reports of all that stuff. Just kind of take it easy.
Yeah.
888-5690 is the number to the courthouse. You can ask for the elections division.
Okay.
If you do face any problems, that's the easiest. I think solution is just to call the courthouse.
888-5690. 888-5690. Okay, good.
So
another question is, unless you had more to add to that.
No, go ahead.
Another question we had is, we've given the opportunity here on this programming we're doing called Inspire the Vote to get people educated, informed. But obviously, we don't have all the candidates. There's a lot of candidates, and there's also state. Elections going on.
Yeah.
Where can people go? Is there a website, something where people go and, do some research, read about the candidates, find some more information? What information can you provide us for that?
I think the easiest nonpartisan way, if you just truly want to find out who people are, League of Women Voters Corpus Christi. Just Google it. It'll take you to their website. At the courthouse, City Hall, any government buildings, they have these like 10-page magazines or newspapers that's got everybody's short little bio, what they stand for, who they are, what they're running for, all of that good stuff with their picture and everything. So they ask them 3 or 4 questions on different issues that pertain to the office that they're running for.
Right.
And they're able to give a Twitter style response, 120 characters.
Oh, nice.
And put it in there. So yeah, League of Women Voters.
Okay. That helped me. I when you told me that the other day, I used it and I went to they had local, and then they have like state, national. But I looked to the local, man. I learned a lot right there. So that was very good. So now, hey, thanks for helping out yesterday when we had. What do we call it? Souls for the Polls?
Souls to the Polls.
Souls to the Polls. We love that. Yesterday, you were able to get some of the local candidates to come by and worship in our service, and we were able to recognize them and pray for them, and that was really cool. So that's something that's happening.
And we've talked about it here, and my goal still now as I get more free time is to organize a real Souls to the Polls. I mean, if you look yesterday or last Sunday. And it started predominantly in the African American churches.
Yeah.
And they were big. Not this Sunday, but last Sunday, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee in Houston led one, and right after church, and the church was like a few blocks from the voting place.
Yeah.
They all left after church and walked together. To go vote, and I think that was pretty cool.
That's great. Well, we were hoping yesterday that Hillary or Donald would stop by, but it just didn't happen yesterday. But Joseph, you're listening to Joseph Ramirez, and again, he served for some time as the Nueces County Democratic chairman of the party. Did a great job, and to this day, he still loves to just make sure that the people in the community are informed and involved, and he's a networker. He gets people connected. He brings people together. And I appreciate that about you, Joseph. So thanks for bringing this information.
One more thing I want to add on actual stuff going on tomorrow. It used to be before you can vote anywhere in early voting, and then on Tuesday you had to go to your precinct, wherever you lived, that box. This year they have designated it's what they're called super precincts. So anywhere, for example, let's say you live in Robstown, but you work at the courthouse. You can go vote downtown instead of having to wait till you get back home.
Awesome.
So no matter where you live, no matter what your home precinct is, as long as you're in Nueces County, you can go vote at that precinct. So it's vote anywhere at any location.
Really?
Yeah.
Vote anywhere at any location. Man, that is good news to know. You need to know that, Corpus Christi.
And that helps out, especially, I know you said you had some of the teachers looking. If your school is a polling place, you can go vote during lunch and not have to leave right away.
Perfect.
Which is, it used to, that's one of the bigger professions that used to complain about this. Is like, my school is a polling place, but I live on the other side of town.
Right.
By the time I get home and pick up my kids and this and that, it's run out of time. No, you can do it.
So
anywhere.
how do we find out where the polling places are at? Because I think, did you tell me, my wife's here, Vivian? Did you tell me that we used to go to the fire station. That's not going to be used.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know where to go then.
Yeah, well, and as a service to the public, we have placed signs, the big signs, at every single one of those polling places, like Fire Station 14 that shut down. And it says this place is no longer a polling site. The closest one is X or anywhere.
Okay.
We are doing our best.
So there'll be signs available to tell people in case they go to their old one if it's shut down for some reason.
And that's another thing at Veterans. It was like this Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. The lines were like 2 or 3 hours long.
Oh my goodness!
And people would call me and they'd be like, this was their actual complaint, a real actual complaint. They want us to wait here for 2 hours, and we can't be on our phones in here. How can you keep somebody away from their phones for 2 hours?
Hello. The new age and a new day, no doubt.
I said, well, first of all, how are you calling me? Because you're breaking the law. But I said, no, just go over. So some of the newer ones, Valencia, Bingo Hall on Ayers. It's kind of in the south side, but the lines are just moving in and out. There's some new ones. Pastor Lavelle's church, Corpus Christi Christian Fellowship.
Yeah, sure.
Because they're new, not a lot of people know about them.
Right.
The lines are running a lot smoother.
Okay. Good information. Excellent information.
And tomorrow there'll be tacos, free tacos on every corner for Election Day. Huertas Tamales is doing free tacos for the voters.
We love that in Corpus Christi. We love that in South Texas.
So thank you, Pastor
Joseph Ramirez. Thank you so much. Much success to all you do. God bless you. Have a great day. You've been listening to Inspire the Vote right here on 100.3. That was my good friend Joseph Ramirez, networker, gets people connected, giving you some helpful information.
My friend, you're created to excel in life, to progress and move forward. So next time you face a challenge, don't see it as an obstacle, see it as a stepping stone. Don't get intimidated, get motivated.
Now, more music to get inspired by. This is 100.3 KSRB.
You are listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote. Gave you some really helpful information about, I just learned some things right there that I didn't even know. So that's good to know. Tomorrow when you go to vote, where you go, what to take, all that kind of stuff. Be patient with the process, okay? And a whole new way of voting. So a different mechanism that they're using, new technology. So that's cool. But we're having a great time today learning and listening to all the various candidates. Very honored to have with us now in the 100.3 KSRB studio, Rick Gomez, who is running for City Council District 3. Rick Gomez, City Council District 3. Welcome, Rick, to 100.3. How you doing today?
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks so much for having me. Greatly appreciate it.
It's our pleasure, and thanks for stopping by. Listen, let's find out who Rick Gomez is. I know we did this Thursday, but we've got some new listeners. We've been promoting this event today. We've got people watching by video on our live stream app, on our church live stream app, and our website. We've got even some schools that are participating and government classes that are tuning in just to say, hey, let's watch this process and get informed and educated. So, but for people that are getting ready to vote tomorrow, who is Rick Gomez? Tell us about yourself. We want to know more about you, and just inform us. Who is Rick Gomez, who is running for City Council District 3?
Well, I was born and raised in Corpus Christi, spawned downtown. My parents were also from Corpus. They went to Ray and actually met at Baker. My grandparents on both sides, my grandparents on the Garza side, my grandfather was Judge Garza, who was a staple at the courthouse.
Clearly remember him, a great guy, just a really great guy.
A really good insight into politics whenever he was running. Even though I was very young at the time, it was heavily influenced in our family. On the Gomez side, my father currently works at the base. He's been there almost 40 years. He started when I was born.
Awesome.
And my grandfather retired after 40 years. My grandmother has just been a huge influence on my life. She's owned rental property for over 50 years now. She grew up during the Great Depression. She was the oldest of 11 kids. And if there's anything I admire about her, it's her work ethic. She is still working to this day into her 80s. And I've always wanted that for myself. I have two children. We mentioned earlier, I have a daughter named Ava, just like yours.
Yeah.
And she is 9. I've also got a son, Richard. Richard has just turned 13 in July. And just love them both very much. And that has heavily influenced my decision for what I want for Corpus and what more I want for Corpus when I've decided to run here.
Fantastic. You're listening to Rick Gomez. Remember that name, Rick Gomez. He is running for City Council District 3. So tomorrow, Rick, when people go to the ballot, they've heard a little bit about you, but now let's talk about what you see for Corpus Christi. As they go to hit that check mark on the box on the ballot there, and they see the name Rick Gomez running for City Council District 3, why should they vote for you? What do you want them to remember when they go to the voting polls tomorrow and they see Rick Gomez's name? This is what he wants. This is what he believes. Why should they vote for you?
Government is such a difficult thing. I've often been told that the best people for government are those that don't want to be in it, those that don't run for office.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, in a sense, what I admire most about government is when it's limited, whenever it's ruled by the people and it's meant to serve us. So, what I'm looking for whenever I run is I want government to be in its proper place. I don't want government to tell us what to do, to act as our nanny, but rather to serve us and to protect our interests and our rights, and that's very important to me.
That's the job of government, absolutely, to serve and protect, absolutely.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, one of the jobs is to protect our economic freedom, our free marketplace choices. So that's something that I consider extremely important, that we have more business in Corpus Christi, that we do actually say yes to business, that we don't overregulate it, overtax it, and continually put impediments in its way so that it won't be able to prosper. I'm a big believer in the free market. And of course, the last thing that I think is extremely important for government to protect is our individual liberty, our individual choices. I think one of the ways that it can do that is by being transparent. So I think it's important for us to know not only our candidates, but who's behind our candidates. Who are our candidates' sponsors? Who are the ones that donate the largest amount of money to them? We need to follow that because that's extremely important. So one of the things that I'd like to do, in addition to the others in my candidacy, is maintain transparency, maintain integrity with the voters, and let them know at all times who I'm voting for and what I'm voting for and how I intend to work in government to protect them and to limit government so that we have more rights and we're able to enjoy enjoy our city even more fully. And as I mentioned when I first came on here, we talked very briefly about this. If you love something, you want it to grow. And I love my city, and I love my children, and I want them to stay here. So I want more opportunities in Corpus Christi as we continue to go through these coming decades. And we'll be crippled if we can't get over certain things, such as debt, and if we can't get past the infrastructure and our water issues. So until we resolve those issues, we can't continue to grow. It remains an impediment upon us. So that will be something that I'll be focusing on in my tenure.
Fantastic. Well, I like what I'm hearing. And this is Rick Gomez running for City Council District 3. I really like what I'm hearing. And I tell you what, he sounds prepared. He sounds informed. He sounds ready. And wow, I'm impressed. So you've heard from Rick Gomez, City Council District 3. Can you tell us, for the people that may not even be aware of it, where is District 3? How do people know? Am I in District 3?
Mm-hmm. District 3 is like a puzzle piece. It's not straight by any stretch. It's in the center of town. It stretches all the way from Airline up to the airport, passes through Molina neighborhood. It's bordered roughly on one side by Holly, so if you're on the north side of Holly, squeezed in between that and SBID, then you're most likely. Think of the Target area, Gardendale District, Bonner, Kane.
Sure.
Then over, there's a large square of District 3 voters.
Curtis Clark, eh?
Yeah, Curtis Clark.
Where my wife grew up.
That's right. I live on Bonner. My business is on Kane.
Cool.
But I also grew up inside the box of Weber, Everhart, Holly, and Saratoga, and that box is also inside District 3. So all those Congressional, Coral Gables, etc., they fall within that area.
That's a huge area. So, wow, really important. District 3, City Council, Rick Gomez. Thank you, Rick, for stopping by. And we're just impressed, and we're wishing God's best and much success to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, you're listening to 100.3 Inspire Radio. You've heard from Rick Gomez, running for City Council District 3. We're going to continue with today's special event, so don't go away. We'll continue with more wonderful music and programming and hearing from candidates right here on 100.3.
And our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power and fighting our battles, and every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains in every knee.
All right, you've been listening to Inspire the Vote right here on 100.3, and you're listening on 100.3. You can also continue to listen to these interviews with local candidates on solidrock.tv/live, so you can both listen and watch, and also you can download the Solid Rock phone app and watch. Just hit the live button there, and you can listen and watch. So we're on camera as well, and we've had several candidates come in today sharing their thoughts and their views and why they should be voted for in tomorrow's election. Please get out and vote. Very, very honored to have current councilman Rudy Garza, who is looking for re-election on the Corpus Christi City Council District 5. So he is my representative. I'm so glad to have him here. He represents where I live. But Councilman Rudy Garza is here with us. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you're doing for the community and trying to get them to at least look into their soul and listen to some of the words. And and you've been most kind to me and to all the candidates. Your courtesy is well appreciated.
Well, thank you. Well, you've done a great job, and we appreciate you coming to the opening of this station. We will be hitting in December. We'll actually be 1 year. And so we're learning and growing as we go along, but we thought this was a great way to give back. Nobody's paying advertising for these spots where people are the candidates are coming on. We just want to give back to the community, get them informed and educated. But again, you're looking for re-election, District 5's Corpus Christi City Council, but there might be some new people in town. There might be some new voters, new young voters that just turned 18. Now they're registered to vote. As I said to some of the other candidates, we've actually had some high schools in their government classes that are watching by live stream, getting an education. So, we want the people to know who Rudy Garza is. So, can you tell us a little bit about you, and people can get to know who you are?
Well, thank you, Steve. I was born and raised here in Corpus Christi. I went to school at my first elementary school. Went to a Catholic school, St. Cyril Methodius, on Castores and SPID.
Yeah.
And then I went to Los Encinos my 6th grade year. And then I went on to South Park Junior High, and then my parents bought a house on the west side over at Saxon Heights.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I got a chance to go to Miller High School, and I graduated from Miller High School
awesome.
In 1973. Go Bucks!
Yes, sir.
And then I went. Well, I got married very young. I'm a family man. I've got 4 kids, and
Wonderful.
my wife has 4 kids. So when we got married, we formed the Mexican Brady Bunch.
All right.
There's 8 of them all together.
That's fantastic.
But so I went to school at night. I worked during the day in order to try to provide for my family. I went to school at night. I went to Del Mar College and got my associates in business from Del Mar College, and then I went over to, at that time, CCSU.
Yeah, my
now
wife
Texas
graduated
A&M.
CCSU.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Corpus Christi State University then.
Sure.
And I got a degree in business administration.
Fantastic.
About 1990. And I was working in the corporate world. I was a receiving clerk, unloading trucks, and then I went on to become a buyer. And then when I finished my education, I got certified as a certified purchasing manager, and I was a purchasing manager through most of my career.
Yeah.
I worked for a local semiconductor company. It was a big 2-story building out next to the airport on 44 and International right there, and much of my people that worked in the manufacturing end of things worked there at Semtech. It was Lambda, then Semtech. And so I retired from Semtech in the year 2000. I had been transferred to California. So I was in California for a couple of years, and I had 2 kids that were boys that were getting to be about teenage years. And,
sure.
They get in a little trouble. So before they got in any kind of big trouble, I wanted to come back and make sure that I got my influence onto them. And so I came back in 2000. I was lucky enough to take some of the earnings that I had and buy some real estate, some houses, rent houses, and some apartments. And that was my ticket back to Corpus Christi. Since I've been back, I've been serving on boards and commissions. And then in 2012, I decided to run for city council. And I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to be able to win. The citizens in District 5, the South Side, voted to elect me in 2012. And I've been serving for the last 4 years. I really like serving the city, trying to address all the infrastructure and all the issues that we have.
Sure.
And looking for a way to build a better city.
Oh, I love it. Build a better city. And you guys are doing a great job. I really appreciate what you've done on the council and what the council is doing. And it's a tough job, but you guys have some challenges, but you've done a great job, and we appreciate what you're doing. And again, I know you represent District 5, which is where I live, so we're very thankful. But tomorrow when they go to the ballot and they see Rudy Garza, Corpus Christi City Council, and just give us a few reasons why people should vote for you and say, you know what, let's keep him there in District 5, continuing to serve on the Corpus Christi City Council.
Well, again, I'm blessed that I'm unopposed, but I still want the public to know out there that I really appreciate the mark in my box in case someone decides to mount a last-minute writing campaign.
Exactly.
But I've really enjoyed serving. I feel that it's a calling, and I have the temperament, and I've got the patience in order to deal with government and try to make it the best it can be to serve the public the way it needs to serve the public.
Yeah.
I intend to work just as hard. If you've driven around town, you still see some of my signs.
Sure.
You know that I've attended all the forums, and I've attended, your invitation to come out here and talk to the people. So I want the people to know that I'll work just as hard for the public as I have the first 2 terms, and I don't take anything for granted.
Sure.
And so again, I hope that they'll support me, and I look forward to serving another 2 years.
Hardworking, accessible, serving our community, and doing a great job. Rudy Garza, City Council, District 5. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Success,
Steve.
and
Good
God
luck
bless
to
you, sir.
Your radio station, the
Thank
church. Keep up the good work. Appreciate
Thank you.
everything do.
We appreciate you so much. All right. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you very much.
All right. That was Rudy Garza, Corpus Christi City Council, District 5. We so appreciate him and his service to our community and to our city. And he's looking for re-election. Hey, he doesn't have anybody opposing him. Obviously, I'm going to vote. He represents me. District 5. So that's good. That's good. And you're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote. Wow, we've had so many great candidates coming by, stopping by our studio to get us informed and educated for tomorrow's election. It's here. We're getting close to the big day, and we have another candidate with us today, John Stearns, who is running for CCISD at large, CCISD School Board at large. And John, welcome, and thanks for coming by 100.3. How's it going today?
Doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Well, we love education. We love CCISD. Let me tell you why real quick. My lovely wife, Vivian, here is next to me. She taught for several years in CCISD. I've got a sister who's been there, probably 30 years? Or better. She's teaching. She's over at Grant right now. Is at Luther Jones for many years. And so both my children, my oldest daughter, she went through the Windsor Park, Baker, King, graduated UT Austin. She's doing good. Now I've got one at Veterans Memorial. She's a sophomore. So, hey, we love CCISD. And so you're here, John Stearns. I want that name to be said over and over. John Stearns, CCISD School Board.
Number 6 on the ballot.
Number 6 on the ballot at large. First of all, we might have some people that say, I haven't had time to research and study. Who is John Stearns? Tell us a little bit about yourself so we can know who you are.
Let me start off a little bit of. I grew up in Corpus Christi on the west side of Corpus. Went to school at Oak Park, Driscoll, and then graduated from Miller.
Once a buck,
always a buck.
Always a buck. That's right.
And at Miller, I learned some profound things, and it wasn't necessarily how to use the Pythagorean theorem or that the mitochondria was a powerhouse of the cell. The first thing I learned at Miller really was that I am somebody.
Oh, I love that.
And that everybody is somebody because we're all created special by God for a specific purpose in this world.
Woo, come on.
And so that was the first big thing. The second thing I learned was really a lesson from football, and it was intestinal fortitude. And what that is that's that perseverance to push through when life gets hard, because unfortunately, life does.
Yes.
But we've got to push through it. The next thing I learned, the third lesson, really was a lesson about Ghanas. I didn't know what Ghanas were. I was in English class.
All right.
Teacher Willie Pettis was like, well, you need to spend 3 weeks watching this movie Stand and Deliver. I'm like, this isn't English. But I learned what Ghanas was, that internal burning desire. And for me in life, it created kind of a mantra. And that mantra was, I want to succeed. I expect to succeed. I demand success of myself.
Oh, man, this is good stuff.
And the last thing that I learned really was to dream big dreams. We had a principal back then called Conrado. His name was Conrado Garcia. He's now the superintendent at West Oso ISD.
Yeah.
And Conrado said his dream was always to play Big Bertha, which is the big drum at the University of Texas. And he got a full scholarship there, and he didn't take it.
Oh, my
and he said, you got to
goodness.
stretch yourself.
Yeah.
So dreaming big dreams, I started doing that. When I was in high school, I wanted to be all state in football, and I was third string on my 8th grade football team. But because I had that and putting forth those motions, I ended up being first team all South Texas, all Metro, all District, and went on to play college ball and a member of the Buccaneer Athletic Hall of Fame.
Fantastic. Awesome.
You know, and the same thing holds true for debate and so many other things in my life, that dreaming those big dreams. So I kind of start with that point to say that school teaches us so much more than just the academics.
Yes.
So that's really important. After that, I went to college at Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia, a small private school in Virginia. Played football there, had a great experience. We had an honor code, so you couldn't lie, cheat, or steal. You could take a test anywhere you wanted to. I didn't lock my dorm room door for 4 years.
Wow.
Which was just an amazing part. Ended up from there becoming a financial advisor, been in Dallas, then I was in Louisiana, and in about 2009, our kids weren't being academically challenged in Louisiana, and we went to an educational psychologist because education is so important to me, and said,
sure,
what do we need to do? Where do we need to go? What's from here? And he said, you need 2 things, and one is an international baccalaureate program, and the other is a gifted and talented program. My wife and I had met in Dallas, and we said, we're going to move over to Dallas to do that. And we called Texas Educational Agency, TEA, and found out that same program existed in Corpus Christi, Texas, where I grew up.
Oh, my goodness.
And it went through Windsor Park, Baker, to Ray now, because it extended all the way through high
Exactly.
school. And so that's what prompted us to move here in 2009. Now, I know that's kind of a long story, but it kind of sets up with why
Sure.
I'm running today. I'm blessed. Now, I said this last time we talked on the phone. You know, I've got 3 amazing young men. I've got a supportive, beautiful wife, and I've got a really great business. as a financial advisor. And because of that, I feel like I have to give back to the community that's given me so much. If it wasn't for CCISD schools, my kids wouldn't have had the education they're having today.
Sure.
I wouldn't have had the education I had growing up. So I have to give back, in my opinion, to myself. I think
I love it.
So anyway, that's kind of where all of that starts from. So the question is, well, what can I give back?
Yeah, and that brings us to our second question, which I love that story. That's a great journey you've been on, and wow, more than qualified, obviously. But when they go to the ballot tomorrow, they see John Stearns' name. Again, you're listening to John Stearns running for CCISD at large. I want to say that name over and over so you know who we're talking about. John Stearns, CCISD at large, school board. What's the reason they should vote for you tomorrow as they see the different names?
There are three things I can bring to the table that I feel like. Number one is, having been a parent in the school district and a very active parent, there is a breakdown in communication, unfortunately, that is happening. So when the message comes out from the administration downtown, it's not effectively going to the teachers, to the students, to the parents, and the community stakeholders. So it's really, and this isn't a huge thing, but this is how you move from being a good school district to a great school district. And so doing that through that process, you got to have some parameters that are set up. And that's kind of really the second thing is operational efficiencies, making sure things are smart. That means when something's put out, be specific on what it is, tell us how it's going to be measured, tell us that it's attainable, show us the relevant data that shows that can occur, show that it is relevant, why it is important, what difference and change it makes, and then finally have a time frame. 3 months, 6 months, a semester, a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, you've got to evaluate the program and then redo the plan, moving forward with your strengths and taking those opportunities for improvement and making those necessary adjustments. And that makes it smarter.
Sure.
And so that's the second phase to that. The third phase really is around a more productive learning environment. As I told you earlier, it wasn't the Pythagorean theorem, learning that, or the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It was those lessons I learned,
That's
those
right.
4 lessons to success.
Exactly.
And there's a program out there called Ruler. It deals with emotional intelligence. What that means is really, instead of our emotions dictating our decisions, it's us controlling our emotions and moving that forward.
That's good.
So Yale came out with a program, Ruler, in 2012. They started implementing it mainly in inner city schools. And they've had 2 things come from it. Lower absenteeism, meaning more kids are going to school.
Great.
And second, higher test scores without teaching the test.
Wow.
Has 3 parts to it.
Interesting.
The mood meter, which brings a language into the classroom so that people are able to communicate and understand how others are feeling.
That's good.
The second part is a thing called blueprint. So if you have conflict, you have a bullying situation, okay? The bully is required to then put themselves in the shoes of the person being bullied to understand it from their perspective, while the person being bullied has to put themselves in the shoes of the bullier and understand it from their perspective, because oftentimes the bullier has some external things occurring at home, things like that cause that situation to occur.
Yeah.
So it's a conflict resolution technique. The third part they have is just the meta moment, which is a simple thing that I think we all try and do. And I may have more of a religious take on the meta moment than Yale does with this, but the meta moment is just that second to pause and think before you speak. I would say that's when you listen to God for what he has to give to you. But just my opinion on it.
Good stuff. Well, man.
So those are the things I think I can bring and move forward with the district, and that I think would make it, going from a good district, which they've done some good things, going from 18 schools at risk to 4, having schools of distinction from 26 to 36, but to go to that next level to make it great, there are a few things that need to be added, and that's why I'm running.
I love it. Let's go from good to great. John Stearns, CCISD at large, school board. Remember that name. I like what I hear. I love what I hear. And you mentioned the Hall of Fame at Miller. My wife's father passed away about, was it 3 years ago? He was football Hall of Fame there at Miller as well.
Me too.
That's so cool. I love that.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, John Stearns, for stopping by. CCISD at large, school board is what he's running for. He's a candidate. Remember that name, number
6 on the ballot.
Number 6 on the ballot.
Number 1 for students.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping
Thank
by.
you for having me.
Much success
Have a
and
great
God
day.
bless. All right, you heard John Stearns, CCISD at large, school board, and you've had a chance to hear his voice. Get out there and vote tomorrow. Get out there and vote. And wow, I'm just impressed with all these people that are stopping by. They just have some amazing, amazing stories and backgrounds and well prepared. Oh, it's just tremendous. All right, we'll be back with more candidates. You're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3.
Number 1.
something more than we could ever imagine. There's so much more, there's so much more. Our hearts have been set in motion for something more, for something more than we could ever imagine. There's so much more, there's so much more.
100.3, and today we have had such a great time listening to the various candidates that are running for office here in our local area. This is called Inspire the Vote. And again, you can listen to it on, you're listening to it on 100.3, but again, you can, if you get out of the Corpus Christi area and you still want to catch what we're doing here, you can go to solidrock.tv/live, watch it live on the internet, download the Solid Rock Church app. Just look for on any smartphone, Solid Rock Church, Corpus Christi. Download the app, hit the live button, and you can not only hear us, but you can watch us. So we're on video as well. So I've had some great people in today. We've got another candidate who's with us, and we're just super honored and delighted to have with us Alex Garcia, who is running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1. I'm going to say that name many times so you won't forget it. Alex Garcia, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1. Mr. Garcia, welcome to 100.3. Thanks for coming. And how's your day going so far?
You know, it's an incredible day because for some of us who have been running for quite a few months, you know, when you're about a year and a half, you're kind of looking forward to it just getting to the end. But I'm blessed more than anything else. The fact is that I've been blessed that I've gotten to meet a lot of incredible people. I've run for office before, so that's always enriching in the sense that you rekindle some of those relationships from the past.
Right.
And, you know, it's just been a fun election. Of course, some of the issues that have been happening at national level have been very challenging for all of us because there's assumptions that are made. And I try to encourage people, don't vote for us because of our party affiliations. Vote for us because of who we are and what we can do for you and how we can represent you and your family in the future.
Absolutely. I like that. You're listening to Alex Garcia, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1 candidate. First of all, Mr. Garcia, let's find out who Alex Garcia is. Tell the people that maybe they're new to Corpus Christi. Maybe they've never heard your name. Maybe they don't know exactly who you are. We've got some young voters that are voting for the first time. We've actually had today with this live stream, we had some high school government classes that actually watched by live stream. So we want to know who Alex Garcia is, though. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I will tell you, I was born and raised in Corpus Christi. I'm a graduate from Carroll High School. Go Tigers.
All right.
I had the opportunity of going to Del Mar College, graduated from Del Mar, and then went on to the University of Houston, where I majored in business. I got my degree in business with a major in accounting. And then I made a decision, and the decision was coming back to Corpus Christi, primarily because I wanted to raise my family, knowing my parents, knowing their grandparents, and the quality of life. I really enjoyed Corpus Christi.
I just totally agree with that. I tell people everywhere I go, and I travel a lot, and I tell people Corpus Christi is a great place to raise a family. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and if you stop and think about it, think of it in the name, Body of Christ. Where else can you live in the world and say, I live with the body of Christ?
That's right.
And so I made a decision to come back. And then I was blessed. I've been married now 37 years. I have 5 incredible children. Very challenging
wonderful.
throughout the course of the years, as you well know. Raising children can be challenging,
though.
but I've got 5 grandchildren. I'm really blessed in that sense.
Great.
In addition to that, years ago, I was a mortgage banker, so I did real estate for quite a few years. That position, even though I was still helping my dad was in the grocery store business at the time. We used to own the Supermix stores. For your older clientele or parents of your
Hey,
viewership.
I
your
remember
listenership.
Super Megs. That was a cool place to go. Yeah.
You know what? When I got into the business in the 80s, there were 174 different independent owners in Corpus Christi. When I got out of the business in 2008, there was only one person left. I was the last one. So I was the last of the dinosaurs. I stuck out as long as I could, and then I said, you know what? It's time to move on, and so I did. But I will tell you, it was a great opportunity. But having been a mortgage banker, so I had something to fall back on, and I always said, if I go and get my degree and I become a mortgage banker, then I can always fall back on the grocery business because I grew up in it, and which I did. So at the age of 30, I bought my first grocery store, moved back to Corpus Christi, and I've raised my family since. We've had 6 different types of businesses. So I've been in the restaurant business, done real estate. So I bring that to the table. Plus, in addition to that, having been born and raised, sometimes when you're in a grocery store business, the people that work with you, your clientele that support you, just like here, the people that come to see you are people that believe in you and have a lot of admiration. That if you move, they would maybe not support you. So that's kind of what I felt. I felt loyalty to my clientele. So we just stayed where we were at. And when the day came to leave, it was the hardest decision to make, to decide that this business, this is as far as I can get with it. Either that or wait till the very end and then it gets worse because, there are always bankers looking at you from all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And so, but I was also blessed during that period of time in the late 90s, having been involved with the chamber and been involved with Leadership Corpus Christi, I had a desire to run for office. So the first time I ran was in 1995. I ran for city council at large. And I honestly believe today that had it not been for a tragedy in the community, I probably would have been elected back then because what the tragedy was, Selena was killed 3 days before the election. So people were very devastated. We were all devastated.
Yep.
It was a challenge for all of us at the time.
Absolutely.
But I came back 2 years later and I got elected. So I'm in the history books of being one of the first Hispanic elected city council at large. And so then I got the desire because you know what? We learned, as you do here, people come in and they look for you because they respect you, because they could talk to you, they have that one-on-one discussion, and sometimes there's different needs.
Right.
And I learned that I could do that as an elected official because if you're an elected official, there's a different type of respect.
Yes.
And people listen and people talk. So it was enjoyable at the time. And then years later, I ran again for another position, and because of different challenges out there, I didn't get elected, but I ran for county chair at one point in time because I believed that it could use some rekindling at the time, and so it was a real challenge. I tell you, run for party chair, it's a challenging position, but I don't regret it because I made some incredible relationships with a lot of individuals. And now this has come up, and I think I'd be a great JP because I listen. I believe in education. I believe in those men and women that are coming up, graduating from high school, because that's our future.
Right.
I still serve on the Buccaneer Commission, and I'm coming up on my 20th year.
Wow.
I'm actually still mascot for Bug Days.
That's
But
great.
in the scholarship, we give away, perfect example, last year we gave $37,000 in scholarships.
Whoa.
To
That's
20
awesome.
students.
That's
And
great.
so I still believe in giving back. And today I still serve on about 12 boards. Because it's about giving back. Anything we can do to make a difference, and I'm a true believer in that.
Awesome, man. You're listening to Alex Garcia, who's running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1. A mover, a shaker, a world changer, a history maker. And he loves his community. He loves this area. And he wants to give back. He wants to serve. And I love that. I love hearing that. Well, let's talk about this. Tomorrow when people go to the ballots, and we do encourage everyone to go out and vote, and they see the name Alex Garcia for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1. Let the people know, the listeners, the voters, why they should vote, and put a little check on that little box by Alex Garcia.
I really would appreciate that. I am who I am. I've never changed. I will always be as humbled as the Lord's been allowed me to be. And my door is always open. Whether you, in the way the precincts are, just for people to know, is you may see me on your ballot. If not, you may see Joe Benavides, who's also on the ballot. So you'll see one or the other one on there. And we plan to work together to be able to make changes in the future, to help students, why stay in school?
Yes.
Why avoid truancy? Why do you want to come before the judge to be told that you have to stay in school? And try and, we need to start with the grassroots efforts. Get involved with PTAs, have mock trials or take them to let them see what it's like behind bars, of course, with just as a mock, but just so people can understand what's the importance behind education, because it's very important for all of us. And I ask everybody for their vote. This election is extremely important. And the other thing is just to remind people that tomorrow, You can vote if you pass. If you know of one that's open, you can vote anywhere in Corpus Christi of the precincts that are open. There'll be 93 locations, and so there's not an excuse of I didn't make it back home in time, because now we've made it as easy as possible for everyone.
Yeah, Joseph Ramirez was here earlier, and he was telling us all about that. And I was like, really? I mean, it was kind of new news to me, but that's great. One thing I like that you said, Mr. Garcia, is that you said I'm a listener, and I caught my attention right there. I said, that's a skill, that's an art, to be able to listen, to hear people, to have that compassion and understand people. And my wife is a lovely person. I love my wife, Vivian. She's here as well. She's a great listener. That's why people love her. And because she listens. So just boom, when you said that, my antenna just went, whoop. That's great that you're a listener. And I think that's really cool. That's really great that you're...
Just think how blessed we are that we are here today in this incredible country, living the life we live.
Exactly.
And we can pass it on. And all sometimes it takes is just having a little bit of compassion, be passionate about certain issues, and just be there to help others. And as you well know, you are where you are today, successful you are, because you're an incredible listener. And I think that's what we can all do together. And I think we can all work toward that goal.
Well, that shows that when you're a listener, it's not just about policies and programs, it's about people. And that's what I'm hearing from you. So I like that. Alex Garcia, running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1. Please get out there and vote. Remember that name, okay? Remember that name, Alex Garcia. Mr. Garcia, thank you for taking the time. God bless you. Much success to you, and we wish the best for you.
Thank you so very much. May God bless you and your family as well.
Thank you. All right. You have heard from Alex Garcia, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1 candidate. Remember that name. Get out there and vote. Let's make a difference. This is Inspire the Vote on 100.3. We're going to go back to music. We've got some more candidates. I think we got just a few more left. We've been doing this since early this morning, around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we're winding it down. So I'm grateful for the few that have come by in this last hour. We're going to wrap it up, but let's go back to music, and I'll be back in just a moment.
KSRB LP Corpus Christi, music that inspires. At work, in the car, with the family, wherever you are, we're there. 100.3 KSRB, a solid rock broadcasting station.
Stay strong. Gotta keep circulating information. Doing it through these songs. Gotta give love. Gotta give. Gotta keep glorifying our Creator, our Creator, our
And you're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote here on 100.3 Inspire Radio. And we have just a few more candidates. We've been doing this since about 10 a.m. this morning. We've had so many different candidates, from city council to Texas Senate to school board. And I mean, all just some wonderful people here in our community that are running for office. And I commend all of them for being willing to serve in the community. We have another candidate with us now that I want to introduce you to, and that is Reynaldo Rey Madrigal, who is running for city council at large. And Mr. Madrigal, thank you for coming by, and I hope you're doing well. How's your day going so far?
The day is going good. I'm very thankful that I'm here one more day.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. Well, I've met you before, and it's good to see you again. And I know that we were just talking about how you knew my father-in-law, Leo Gonzalez, lifelong resident here of Corpus Christi. But we want to know, who is Reynaldo Rey Madrigal? You're running for city council at large. for the people that are listening and may not know who you are. I mean, I think a lot of people do know you, but there might be some new people in Corpus Christi. There might be some young new voters that are wanting to know, who is Reynaldo Rey Madrigal? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Runge, Texas, about 100 miles from here, and I've lived all my life in Corpus Christi. I grew up in the Molina area. I lived in La Arboleda, always on the west side of town. And I served in the military. I was in the Army. I used to be in what's called the 108 Engineers, which gave me, at that time, you don't realize that some of that experience you can use a few years later.
Absolutely.
A few years later. And I tell people, look, I have some experience in the street repairs because I think it was Fort Benning, Georgia. We were in charge of the roads there at the fort. And when a general didn't like a road, he would say, I want that road fixed. And it would be fixed rapidly.
Wow, interesting.
It didn't take 3 months or 6 months. No.
Yeah.
We're having an inspection on Friday morning, and it had to be ready.
Wow.
So I know how to do that, and I've been very fortunate that I was stationed in Paris, France for 2 years.
Wonderful.
I got out of the service December the 18th, 1962, and came back to Corpus Christi. Ever since, I was a businessman. I've always been a businessman. I never worked for anybody because I was the owner of the business.
That's fantastic.
And I was always going to school. I got my GED while I was in the service. And then when I came back to Corpus, I went to Del Mar and finally graduated from there. And then I went to A&M, Corpus Christi, and graduated from there.
Great.
And by that time, I had already spent a few years in the business, and I had several businesses running at the same time that I was going to school. So I have that business experience, and I know how to treat people, how to work with people, which is very important in any position that you have. And when I graduated from Texas A&M University with a bachelor's degree in science, I had retired from the business that I had because I was getting up in age and I wanted to make sure I graduated. So I closed my business down and went full time to Texas A&M. As soon as I graduated, an opportunity came for a position, and I had never applied for a job because I was the owner.
Sure.
The position was the judge of Seadrift, Texas. It's a community about 10 miles south of Port Lavaca.
I've been there.
And
Actually,
it's a real nice community.
I go fishing every once in a while at Port Lavaca, and you got to go through Seadrift. That's a huge fishing community. Yeah.
Oh, it is. So I submitted a resume. I had never submitted a resume, and it's the only resume that I've done in my life. And the mayor of Seadrift and the city council liked the resume, which was, the true facts about what I've done in this community. And they hired me as a judge of Seadrift, Texas.
Fantastic.
And for the swearing-in ceremony, I know a few people in town here in Corpus Christi, and I got a few relatives. So I made sure I invited all my friends and relatives to Seadrift. And the mayor over there said, "Who are all these people, Ray?" he had never seen so many people.
Exactly.
And I was sworn in Seadrift, and I served about 2 years over there. Came back to Corpus Christi. I've run for several positions in the city, in the county, and the state. I ran, like in 1972, I ran for Justice of the Peace. And I ran as a Raza Unida party because the Democrats at that time were, not very friendly with you.
Right.
But I still work with them. And then I ran for state representative. I ran for Texas Land Commissioner. I've ran for governor of the state of Texas.
Look at that, folks. We got a candidate for the governor of Texas right here.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
And I'm very proud to say that I've got a lot of votes. When I ran for governor, I won in 26 counties. I've never had money per se.
Sure.
Just to get along, But I had my campaign director, Mando Moreno. Mando Moreno is from the Valley. So we got together and he knew a lot of people in the valley. So people ask me, well, how come you won 26 counties? At the time, a lady by the name of Davis was running for governor also, but she was a favorite of the Democratic Party, which is okay. But when she ran against Governor Abbott, she got 10 counties. I had gotten 26.
Look at that. Wow.
And I said, well, I owe it to Mando Moreno because he's from the valley and he knows a lot of people over there.
Yeah.
So,
wow, what a record. What a story and what a history. That's wonderful. So tomorrow when they go to the ballot and they see Reynaldo Rey Madrigal on that ballot and it says City Council at Large, why should they put a check mark on that box? Tell the voters here that are listening in our area why they should vote for you, Reynaldo Rey Madrigal, on City Council at Large.
I've always told people, like, look, we've been promising the repair of the streets here in Corpus Christi. The streets are kind of bad, and I think I have the experience necessary to make sure that we repair our streets. The other thing was the water. This year we had 3 different water boils, which is not acceptable. I don't know. It just happened and caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
Because we never expected to be on the last one, like 2 weeks, not being able to drink the water. You had to buy water or boil it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have some experience from having served in the military on making sure our water supply is good. So those are the main 2 things that I think should be of interest to the voters when you go vote, because you don't want to go through another water boil. And I can assure you, I'm retired. I have nothing but time to dedicate to this community, and I have dedicated in the past while I was in business to the Transportation Advisory Board, the Sister City Committee, the Ethics Committee for the City of Corpus Christi, and this is all serving our community. So I know how to serve our community. So I hope that when you go vote tomorrow, you consider this. And besides that, being a veteran, I belong to the American Legion Post 364.
Wonderful.
As a veteran. And I belong to LULAC, the American GI Forum,
sure,
and several other organizations that serve our community.
Great organizations.
So I know how to serve our community. So I hope that when you go tomorrow and cast your vote, I have a lot of experience in many areas. Because I've been around this
Sure.
town all my life,
Sure.
and I think I know how to treat people right.
Wonderful.
And that's what you look for when you elect an official that treat people right.
Exactly.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not about just programs and policies. It's about people. So that's wonderful. You're listening to Reynaldo Rey Madrigal running for City Council at Large. I'm impressed. A serviceman, education, was in the military, knows about streets. Wow. He's been...
I'd like to add a couple of things. When we had the Memorial Coliseum, which was dedicated to the veterans of World War II,
right?
I worked very hard to make sure it wasn't torn down, but eventually it was torn down.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I learned how to get on the ballot without having to spend money.
Yeah.
You can do it either way. You can pay $100 to get on the ballot, or get 264 signatures. I was able to get around 500 signatures from people that I know mostly, and they would
Sure.
sign the petition to get me on the ballot. So I really appreciate that, and I want to thank all those people that signed the petition so that I could be here and you could vote for me tomorrow. So
That's a smart idea, yeah.
I want to thank everybody for their help. I've had many good people in my path to where I am now.
Well, he's a great people person. Every time I've had the opportunity to see you or meet you, and you've always been so courteous and cordial. And again, a businessman. Wow, served in government before already, served in the military, a veteran, loves this city, experienced leadership. Reynaldo Rey Madrigal. Remember that name when you go to the ballot tomorrow for City Council at Large. Mr. Madrigal, thank you for your time. May God give you much success and God bless you. And thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure. All right. You're listening to Inspire the Vote on 100.3. We've got maybe 2 or 3 more candidates that we're going to wrap this thing up, but that was a wonderful interview. And thanks to Mr. Madrigal, Reynaldo Rey Madrigal, City Council at Large. So let's go to music, and I'll have a couple of more candidates before we wrap this up today on Inspire the Vote here on Inspire Radio 100.3.
stay strong. Gotta keep circulating information, doing it through these songs. Gotta give love, gotta give. Gotta keep glorifying our Creator, our Creator, our Creator.
You're listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3. Since this morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning, we have been nonstop just interviewing all kinds of candidates. I got a huge stack here of all the candidates that have been running for various offices. Tomorrow's a big day. It's winding down. And, we're talking to some of the people that come in, the candidates, and they're moving their signs to the voting areas now because, they're doing everything they can. We just so appreciate all these people that are willing to serve here in the community and serve Nueces County and Corpus Christi. And I have another candidate with me that we're very honored to have with us, and that is the Honorable Judge Joe Benavides, who is the incumbent and looking for re-election of Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1. I'm going to say his name several times so that every time you hear his voice, you'll know who you're talking about. It's Judge Joe Benavides. Welcome to 100.3, and how's your day going so far?
My day is going fine, but thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to the people, your listeners, on behalf of my position and why I should be reelected to the Justice Courts of Precinct 1.
Wonderful. Well, we're on 100.3. We're also live streaming by video on solidrock.tv/live. We're on the Solid Rock phone app, so people are watching. We've got a little map here, and it shows all these people that are watching, not only in the Corpus Christi area, but all over Texas and other parts of the nation. And but we're excited for you to be here. First of all, thank you for being in our worship service yesterday as well. We were very honored that you could be here, and the fact that you could not only worship with us, but people could meet you and shake hands with you and talk to you. And so that just says a lot, that you're accessible to the people. But Your Honor, Joe Benavides, tell us a little bit about who you are. Let's find out a little bit. We might have some people that are new to the area in Corpus Christi, maybe some new young voters that are about to vote for the first time. We found out that we've got some of the high school government classes that we're actually watching by live stream. So
Absolutely.
Let's find out who Judge Joe Benavides is. Give us a little bit of your background and who you are.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, your services, they were beautiful, and I thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
I was raised here in Corpus Christi. I'm a fifth-generation military family, and attended T.G. Allen Elementary School, Hamlin Middle School, and Ray High School. I was a special resources student. Back then, they called it special education. But I did graduate. I have 3 college degrees, one in business administration, one in business management, and one in human resources.
That's fantastic.
I have served 21 and a half years in the Marine Corps. I'm a combat veteran of Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I am the only public official that has been retired in Nueces County as a military veteran.
Wow.
And I just believe that we must have public servants that are active in the community. There's so much going on right now. And the Justice Courts of Precinct 1 is a courtroom, the people's courtroom. And it is a courtroom that is the first line of defense for our children. So we don't want to see our children go to the county courts, the state courts. We want to make definitely sure that we go out and let them know that, school is very important. Education is very important.
Yes.
We got to make definitely sure that, we keep the drugs away from our kids.
Sure.
There's a lot of bullying. So I've got my anti-bullying message. I go out to 3-4 different elementary schools throughout my jurisdiction to let them know that, bullying is not tolerated. It's bad. It's really hurts a lot of young kids with people that bully, with children that bully children. And then also my anti-gang message. I'm very involved. I'm on many boards. One, I am the president of the Children's Advocacy Center of the Coastal Bend, and also the Instituto Culturica, which is a keep my culture inside me. I just
Love it.
I'm on the board of that, and also the Corpus Christi Literacy Council. I've partnered up with many organizations that deal with children and those less fortunate and those that aren't heard heard. So the people's courtroom, people go in there, citizens or my constituents, and represent themselves. And we got to listen out not only to the constituents, but also to the attorneys that
Sure.
show up in the courtroom.
Sure.
But, you have to be fair. And I think I'm very fair, very well educated now that I've been in office for 4 years. And my passion, really, to be honest with you, the justice course is broken down into civil criminal processes. And I break it down to 75% is dealing with minors in possession, truancy. So it's dealing with minors, juveniles. So, and I love that part of it because I am very active. I get out to those schools. I get out to the high schools, the middle schools. Anyone that asks me to have a presentation on the 5 things that I talk about, which is my anti-truancy, anti-drug, anti-sex, bullying, danger stranger now because we have issues out there. So I'm very active, very vocal, and I'm out there to reach out to the parents and help them out. And I have partnered up with a Del Mar College and an organization called the Free Little Library. And, fines are extremely high. And now the justice courts, with the new laws that came in 2015 of October, I have an opportunity to bring in partner up organizations that will teach parents that they're accountable to their students. It's pretty much a parent academy, and the books are for the kids. So I could, instead of finding a parent, $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. What I do is I set an agreement between myself and the parent where they will be court ordered to do a book report with their child. The child picks the book out of the little library.
That's great.
And on their first follow-up, they've given an opportunity to show me exactly what they learned, the child and the parent. So
Excellent.
Instead
Excellent.
of instead of the $300 fine, these parents are working parents. They're struggling in life.
Sure.
Everything's expensive. I think their main concern is paying rent. Clothing on our children, food on the table. So I think I would go the other route and set up programs for our parents and our children to see if we could probably change the parents' way of thinking about education is important for our children. And we got to have parent involvement with our children. So that is my main point about the justice courts, of trying to relay to the parents and the children that, look, education is important. And I think it's really trying to combat the issues we have with truancy and the dropout rate. I believe that these programs I bring in with the Corpus Christi Literacy Council, the Little Library program, the Parent Academy from Del Mar College, I bring all these programs into play so that I think practically just educating our parents about the responsibilities of a parent, and also that education is very important for our children.
Wow, that is impressive. Well, I tell you what I'm hearing from you is that you're passionate about the young people in our community. You're passionate about people. It's not just programs and policies, it's about people. And I love that. Judge Joe Benavides, that's who you're listening to. He's running for re-election. Judge Joe Benavides, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1. First of all, thank you for serving as a veteran. 21 years, you said?
21 and a half years in the Marine Corps.
Wow. My heart goes out to veterans. They deserve so much honor and appreciation. I thank you for that. And then the fact that you've just been serving our community and serving our children, our families, and that's huge. That's huge. So you've touched on it a little bit, but I'll give you another opportunity to say why people should vote for you tomorrow when they go to the elections and they see your name on the ballot for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1, Joe Benavides. One more time, why they should vote for you tomorrow.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I am involved. I've been involved since I was 17 years old, and that's by just joining the Marine Corps and serving my country. But not only that, now I'm serving my community, and I'm educated. I'm no rocket scientist, but I understand, like our parents, our children, right from wrong. And like I said, it's a people's courtroom. And I think a lot of parents have seen me out in the schools. I didn't just start this just a month ago when politics came around. I stepped up to the plate when I got elected in 2013, January 1st, 2013, and I started creating all these programs and trying to help out the parents with the issues that we have here in our community. So, if you want to vote for someone that is very active, you have my trust that I will continue to do what I do, and that's, of course, helping out our parents and our children, the veterans, the senior citizens. I'm pretty much involved in every nonprofit you could possibly think of, and involved with our schools, because our schools is the most important issues we have here. I represent in my jurisdiction the Cal Allen Independent School District, the Toloso Independent School District, the West Oso Independent School District, and half the schools of Corpus Christi Independent School District. So I've got my courtrooms really packed, but I think what's best is that you have a person here that is really committed not only to the community but to our children.
Fantastic. Well, you've just heard from the Honorable Judge Joe Benavides. He wants you to re-elect him, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1. I'm impressed. I appreciate your words and your thoughts, and we're informing the voters for tomorrow. And we wish God's best upon you. We give you much success and blessing, and thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
it.
All right. That was Judge Joe Benavides running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1, right here on Inspire the Vote 100.3. I think we might have one more candidate to interview, and then we're done. We might be re-airing some of this later in the evening, so that'll be a good thing in case you missed some of it. So thanks so much for listening. We'll be back in just a moment, but I think one more candidate right here on 100.3. And you're listening to 100.3 Inspire the Vote. What a day it has been. We have heard from so many great candidates that are running for office in various positions. And we're just, again, admiring and honoring all the people that have made themselves available to serve in our community. We have one more candidate that I'd like to interview today, and then we're going to wrap this up, and then we might play some of these interviews hopefully later on this evening in case some of you might have missed it. And again, to give you an informed, educated vote for tomorrow. But we're very honored to have with us Alice Upshaw Hawkins, who is running for CCISD at large, CCISD School Board at large. And we got to talk to her a little bit the other day, but in case you missed it, Alice Upshaw Hawkins. I'm going to say that name several times so that when you go to the ballot, you'll remember that name. But Ms. Hawkins, welcome to 100.3. How's your day going?
Well, it's going great. It's a beautiful day out there.
Yes, it is.
It's fall, and I just wish it would be a little cooler. But,
I do too.
You know, I don't question God's work.
That's right. That's right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. We love education. My wife here, she taught here in CCISD for several years. I have a sister who's been there probably 30-some years. She was at Luther Jones, now at Grant. My daughter went through Windsor Park, Baker, King, graduated UT Austin, and now I have a sophomore at Veterans Memorial. So, you know, and I could go on and on. We love CCISD, so we appreciate your willingness to serve. But let's first of all find out, who is Alice Upshaw Hawkins? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we want to get to know you.
This is Steve.
Yes, I'm Steve.
Okay, Steve, thank you for allowing me to speak to your audience and having me
Our pleasure.
on the radio. I appreciate all of that. It's always good to be able to speak to people who you are asking for their vote.
Sure.
And I am a resident of Corpus Christi. I'm not lifetime. I was born in Robstown. Came over here when I was 7.
Okay.
But I went through schools here. I went through CCISD, elementary, junior high, and high school.
Great.
I also went to Del Mar. I'm a product of Del Mar.
All right. Yeah, we went to Del Mar. Yep.
Absolutely. Go Del Mar. I actually teach. I'm a adjunct at Del Mar. I've been there for 14 years.
Wow, fantastic.
And I'm a retired teacher. I got my degrees from Kingsville. At the time that I was there, it was Texas A&I. And then
sure.
I got a master's degree in composition and rhetoric, which is teaching English
Awesome.
at Texas A&M University.
That's great.
I retired a few years ago. I love to serve. My mom taught us reciprocity, which means to give back.
Awesome.
And so I'm here to give back of my time and my talents. I had a varied career. As a young woman, I went through, I taught school, but I also worked for the refinery. I was actually a hard hat person. I actually worked in the units. I made platform 8 gasoline.
Wow.
And then I went to a desk job. I was first line manager for Southwestern Bell Telephone Company for 12 years. So I have had a varied career, and because of that, I think I'm uniquely qualified to handle those tasks that a person on the Corpus Christi Independent School Board actually has to deal with. I believe in hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I've always worked hard. When I was a teacher, I went in at 7, 8 o'clock, spent 12, 15 hours, came back out.
Wow.
At night, and the janitors had put the chains on the doors, and I would have to disturb them from wherever they were just to kind of let me out of the building, just to show you what
That
kind
shows
of
passion. I like that.
absolutely, and that's what it takes is passion to work in the school systems, because there was not the pay. I was reading online this morning talking about teacher pay and how teachers are actually leaving the field, and the average teacher now spends about 3 to 5 years, and then we lose them.
Wow.
And we're not talking about bad teachers. We're talking about good teachers
Sure, exactly.
that recognize their own talents and are not compensated for it, and they take their
Absolutely.
talents elsewhere.
Yep.
And so I know what it's like. So therefore, as a result of some of that and our curriculum, some of our students, as at the end of it, being at Del Mar, I recognize that those students coming in are going into remedial classes.
Wow.
So they graduate to go back to school to get ready for college, and there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
And so I see that, and matter of fact, just at Del Mar last year, the number of remedial classes was increased. They were looking for teachers to teach those classes because
My goodness.
students were coming out unprepared. And that's part of why I'm so passionate about being a part of the school board, because we set policy. The board members set policy.
Okay.
That is the job of the board,
All
is
right.
to set policy and make sure that the superintendent and everyone that's involved with administering that policy does a very good job of it.
Sure.
And so we are there to evaluate. But when I think about all the youngsters on the far end of public education that are going into colleges and local community colleges not being able to take classes for credit, that troubles me.
I'm sure. Yes,
There's
I agree.
a serious gap there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I feel like that part of the policy that we set should address that. And that the numbers should be going down instead of going up, and unfortunately they are going up. So that's part of the reason why I want to be a part of that policy setting, because I do believe that curriculum has been I don't think it's been done in a way that really is accomplishing our goals. And I know that some of your listeners out there know that CCISD was one of 11 schools in Texas that has to go and be trained on how to deliver, a curriculum and write up curriculum fixes that will help our schools to come out of those IR stages.
I see.
Now, there's 1,031 school districts, public school districts in Texas, and to be in that group of 11.
Wow. Yeah. Hello.
So that troubles me.
Sure.
And so I believe that I can contribute to something that will work. I was at Miller High School when Miller was reestablished. We worked hard. It's not an overnight fix. We were in there in the mornings and late afternoons. We got together, put our ideas together and brainstormed and came up with ideas to help our students. And we came out of that. We became a recognized school during that time. And we were under the direction of Dr. Peltz.
We know him so well. In fact, my wife worked with Dr. Peltz way back in the Chula Vista.
Well, he's a teacher's teacher.
He was a great man.
He knew
great
how to
man. We
build
loved
up.
him.
He knew how to help teachers become teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, he would come to the building with his with a plan almost every morning.
Wow.
And told us, this is what I want to see you do. And he went home, he read at night, he looked up all of the latest research and brought that to us.
Wow.
And we need that to happen again.
Yes.
We need that to happen again.
Yes. Well, I love it, man. I tell you, I'm impressed. You're listening. I want to say this name over and over. Alice Upshaw Hawkins, running for CCISD School Board at large, and just impressed with everything she's saying and doing. You can hear the passion in her voice and in her heart. The experience, the leadership. I mean, been in the classroom from all levels, so this is great. This is great. So one more, I know you've already touched on this, but I want to give you another opportunity. As people go to the ballot tomorrow, they're going to see the different names for CCISD School Board at large. You'll be number
4 on the ballot.
Number 4 on the ballot. So let's tell those listeners one more time why they should vote for Alice Upshaw Hawkins tomorrow, CCISD School Board at large.
Well, when you go out there to the polls and you want to see a difference in our schools, in the school, the way we teach our children, the products that we put out, the money that we spend, I want to see CCISD go into a new direction. I believe that we should have a lot more communication, talk, discussion before we make these major decisions to spend taxpayers' money.
Sure.
We've got a $194 million bond that you will be asked to approve of. We need to have a discussion, everybody that is involved, taxpayers, parents, teachers, the community as a whole, needs to have a place at the table for those discussions before those types of decisions are made. We have a bond that from the 2014 that is yet to be finished, and then we're asking our taxpayers to come back and approve another bond. So when you want somebody that's going to represent the people, let's put public back in public schools. I'd like to see a change in time when the board meets so that all of the constituents, everybody that is a part of this community can make plans to attend. Right now, the school board meets at 3:30, but 90% of the people that want to come, maybe want to have input, maybe want to learn what's going on, they can't come because we are working people.
That's true.
And so I'd like to make some drastic changes. I'm really going to push. I don't know how far I'm going to get, but if I get into this, take a seat on the board, I'm going to be pushing to have school board meetings on Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock, when everybody can come. They can make plans. It's twice a month. So, I'm hoping that when you go to the polls and vote, that I will be representing something that is important to you and that you will feel empowered to pull that lever and vote for Alice Upshaw Hawkins, number 4 on the ballot. I work hard. I've always worked hard. I worked hard in the classroom, and I know that I will do the same thing for everyone in the boardroom. But my passion is about the students. Everything I do is going to be about the students.
I love it. You're listening to Alice Upshaw Hawkins, running for CCISD School Board at large. Let's not be afraid of change. I love that. Let's not be afraid of change. Let's not be one of those kind of say, well, we've never done it that way before. I love that. The idea of change and progress and growth and doing better. So thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Alice Upshaw Hawkins, CCISD School Board at large. Thank you so much.
Steve,
and I know
thank you.
I know the other day you mentioned that you are a Christian woman.
Absolutely.
Obviously, this is a Christian radio station. It's
Absolutely.
Solid Rock Church. So we love that as well. But thank you for your heart for people and for kids. And thanks for stopping stopping by today.
All right, Steve, thank you. I just want to let you know that I went to 2 services yesterday at 2 different places because I needed a spiritual refreshing.
Awesome.
And I will tell you that I got it, and I thank God for the opportunity to be addressing your people out there in Radio Land today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you too. All right. You've been listening to Alice Upshaw Hawkins running for CCISD School Board at large. That's going to wrap it up. I'm going to come back in just a moment and give some of my final thoughts, and we'll go back to some music for right now. But thanks for listening to Inspire the Vote here on 100.3.
You were the word at the beginning.
Bye-bye. What a great, great, great day this has been. My goodness. Inspire the Vote on 100.3. Inspire the Vote 100.3. And my lovely wife, Vivian, is here. We're still live streaming on solidrock.tv/live. We're still streaming on the Solid Rock phone app. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to be wrapping this up, though, but had a lot of candidates come in. Didn't get all of them. Obviously, there's no way we could have done all of them. We extended the invitation to as many as we can. So, again, a nonpartisan approach to this. So we had Republicans, we had Democrats, we had both sides. We're not taking sides here. But just really impressed with a lot of the people that came in. My lovely wife Vivian is here, and you got to hear from a lot of the candidates.
I sure did.
What was your impression of all these people as they told their stories and their bios and who they were?
Well, I was so interested. I was just so impressed with so many of these people who want to serve our community. They've experienced so much in their lives, and so I believe that they can give from those experiences. And I'm just impressed with their passion to serve the community and their passion to care for people. I just feel so almost overwhelmed at how many of the candidates came out and just poured out their hearts on the radio station, and of course we're live streaming too. I feel good. I feel good that we're in good hands. Whoever you all decide to vote for, I just feel like we're in good hands because so many of these candidates really care for the community and for people.
Well, what impresses me, especially, obviously this is at the local level. We had one, a national representative here, the Congressman Blake Farenthold, but most of them were local people. And let's face it, I mean, a lot of these people don't get paid. If they get paid very little. So like you said, you were impressed because they're just willing to serve. I mean, they're just business people that say, I want to give back to the community. Some of them are retired. Some of them still have businesses, but they just say, I just love my city. You were born and raised here, Viviana. You were born and raised in Corpus Christi. Right. I love Corpus Christi. I've been here since 1976, but you were born and raised here, and you've always loved our city. And I do. I think you have that common ground with all these people who feel that way.
Right. Oh no, I love Corpus Christi, and of course, moving to a bigger city has always been could be tempting, but I could never leave, and I'm so happy to hear that some of these candidates they care about Corpus and wanting to improve Corpus Christi. Now, Corpus Christi has come a long way through all these years that I've been here, and I'm happy to see the improvements and that Corpus is moving forward, and I'm happy to hear that these candidates want to continue that movement of going forward and keeping their young people here so that opportunities can be available to them, so that people will stay.
Absolutely. Well, you have a great history, a great legacy here in Corpus Christi because you were born and raised here. Your parents were born and raised here.
Right.
And all the way go back to your grandparents. I mean, your grandparents were here. And we were talking to Alex Garcia. Yeah, he's running for Justice of the Peace. And his family owned the Supermex grocery stores, and we started talking about how your grandfather was a businessman on your mom's side, and he had a grocery store over on 19th Street across from the bakery right there. And we were reflecting on how, as a little girl, you used to go to your grandfather's grocery store there on 19th Street.
Right.
So that's so cool that you have such a great history here, with your parents, your grandparents, both your mom and your dad's side, from Corpus Christi. And, hearing the stories, knowing your dad, I mean, your dad, we miss him. He passed away 3 years ago, but we heard all the stories from him about Corpus Christi. And I loved hearing all his stories about Corpus Christi and how he would say growing up as a kid. He would tell me, I love fishing. So he would tell the stories about when he was a kid, he'd go fishing and there was no limits. He could come home with just tons of fish and, there were no size limits. And he goes, oh, man, I mean, I just can imagine what it was like to be in Corpus Christi. But, when I heard Alex Garcia about the grocery store, Supermex, I remember those. But your grandfather had a grocery store. Tell us a little bit about all the history of your family here in Corpus Christi.
Oh, well, yes, my grandfather had a grocery store and we loved visiting and loved going to he'd give us cookies and I'm grateful for that heritage, that my grandfather was a businessman and that he loved people too, loved serving the community, loved having that store available in the neighborhood for people to get their needs met, and I'm grateful to have that heritage, and grateful to be that my parents were born and raised here too, and so were my siblings, and we're all here still. We love Corpus, the sparkling city by the sea.
That's right.
And we want to stay, and we're for Corpus growing and improving.
Absolutely. So, that's why we wanted to do this. We wanted to get people informed. And I tell you what, it's really been helpful to me. What's going to be difficult now is trying to have to narrow it down and make a choice when you go, wow, a lot of these people are just so great and qualified.
Right.
You're like, oh, man, can they all win? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I
we
wish
can't.
they could.
Yeah, but we can't do that. But we'll have to make that choice. But hopefully this has helped you as the voters to go out tomorrow and vote in the city elections. Now we've got city elections, we've got county elections, we've got state elections, we've got national elections. You want more information? Go to the Texas League of Women's Voters. I think that's what it's called. Just Google that, Texas League of Women's Voters.
Right.
And they have a lot of great information for both local, state, and nationals where you can read about all the candidates. I realize it's going to take some of your time, but it's worth it. I mean, we won't have another election for a while, so get out there and do that. So be informed and get out there and vote. And like Joseph Ramirez was telling us that I guess tomorrow might be busy, so we got to just have a little bit of patience.
Right, definitely. Well, it's an important day, and yes, we're glad that people are going to come out. We're glad it's going to be crowded because that means people care. But definitely, we all need to practice be kind and loving in all you do, most definitely.
I like it. That's good. Well, here's just some final thoughts that I have personally for the people that may follow the station and people connected some way and somehow to what we're doing here. The big question is, who do I vote for? Who do I vote for? And I think this has given us a very informed, an informed process to know who to vote for. You've gotten a lot of great information. And I think there's been some great people on both sides, both parties, Democratic, Republican, both sides, Democrat and Republican. So there's just been good candidates on both sides. I know we've got state elections, we've got national elections, we've got a presidential election. Well, I'm going to tell you right, this is just me personally, okay? This is me personally. Steve Coronado, just personally. Okay? You say, well, who are you going to vote for? Well, for one, I'm not going to tell you. But I'm going to tell you right now, because that's my choice and that's my confidential choice. But I will say this, and I said this yesterday at church. Okay? And this is just me personally. But I'm not voting Democrat or Republican. I'm not voting Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. I am voting the Bible. I am voting for the Bible. That's just me personally. Okay? I'm voting for the Bible. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the biblical principles. I believe in the values of the Bible. So I'm going to vote according to my biblical convictions and values. That's my philosophy of life. That I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I believe in the Bible, the Word of God. And this is just maybe to help somebody that's kind of still confused and knowing how to vote and what to vote. I can't tell you who to vote for, but me as a follower of Jesus Christ, my conviction is I'm going to follow the Bible. My vote is the Word of God. Jesus said, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. And, you know, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. So I believe in the Bible. I believe that the Bible is true. It's solid as a rock. It is the truth. And so what does that mean, Pastor? What do you mean you're going to vote the Bible? They're not going to say it on the ballot, the Bible. Well, what that means is, as I look at all the candidates, as I study the candidates, I'm going to look at who is going to reflect those biblical values and biblical principles more than anybody else, as much as I can find out, as much as possible. So I'm not voting Republican. I'm not voting Democrat. I'm not voting Trump or Clinton. I'm voting Bible, biblical values. So that means I've got to look at what they represent, what they stand for. You know, we do have, I will say this, in the presidential election, Supreme Court nominees are going to be coming up. That's huge. Here's the great thing about the United States of America, though, okay? Regardless of who wins the presidential election, whether it be Clinton or Trump, the great thing is you're not voting for a dictator. We have a system of government where there are 3 branches of government, okay? We've got the judicial branch, which is the judges, the courts. We have the legislative branch, which is Congress, okay, House of Representatives and the Senator, and then the executive branch, that's the president. So it's not like the president, you know, whoever gets elected, whether it's Trump or Clinton, it's not like they're going to be like the next dictator. You know what I'm saying? We don't live in a dictatorship. You know, so regardless of who wins that election, Congress is going to be there to say, hey, the presidential election, whether it be Clinton or That's the Trump. Great thing about the United States of America, that our forefathers put us in a position where we have 3 branches of government. So there's checks and balances. We've got checks and balances. The judicial branch. That's why it's important that you get out and vote for your local elections as well. For example, the legislative branch. we have a congressman who represents us. We have senators who represent us from Texas. We have congressmen who represent our area, and then we have state senators, and we all the way down to local elections. So Trump or Clinton, there's a system in our government. Checks and balances to where we don't live in a dictatorship. You know, people are afraid. Well, this person gets elected, or this person gets elected. No. Congress is going to be there to say, "Hey, the presidential election. The sky is not falling." That's the great thing about, regardless of what happens, the sky is not falling. We have a great system of checks and balances. 3 branches of government. Where you've got 3 branches of government, and they all kind of keep in check. You know what I'm saying, Viviana?
Right. Yes.
There's a system of checks and balances. So, you know, I'm not going to fret. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to be concerned and saying, "Oh no, there goes America." I think that I like what Miss Alice was saying a while ago, that she heard another pastor in town admonishing the people in his church. Actually, it was Pastor Don Lavelle at CCCF, which I think was a good word of advice, that he was saying, on November the 9th, once we find out who wins the elections, especially the presidential election, everybody be calm, everybody be good, and let's not get crazy and start getting all riled up and hate. Would you agree with that?
Of course. Yes, of course.
In other words, give your advice, Viviana, for people who say, well, the president in the presidential election, you know, this person won, and I'm going to be mad, I'm going to be angry. And how should people respond regardless of who wins the election?
Well, of course, we should always do all we can to keep peace.
Good word.
You know, that's in the Bible. And of course, you know, there's faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. So we need to always practice love, most definitely. And also, anyone who's out there trying to make that these decisions and trying to decide who to vote for, pray to the Lord. Get all your information, read all your information as best as you can, and then ask the Lord, who should I vote for, Lord? Who are you leading me to vote for? And the Lord will lead you. He will lead you. But you need to get your information, and this is why we put this program together, so that you could be informed and you can know who's on the ballot, and you can decide. Getting information, having information, knowing information, and then praying to the Lord. This is important. Praying to the Lord and asking Him, lead me, Lord, and He will.
I like it. Keep the peace. Pray. Be informed. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And love.
And love. That's right. Love is the greatest.
Keep the peace. Love is the greatest. And pray.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So that's how we're going to respond, everybody, on November the 9th. You heard it right here on 100.3 Inspire Radio. Regardless of who wins the elections, keep the peace, love, continue to love, and pray. Those are very good words of advice. Get out and vote tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I might be in and out, throwing some more comments out there together with you, and spend a little more time this afternoon. We'll see what happens. But it's been a great day. I want to thank Manuela.
That's
Manuela
right.
Delgado.
That's right.
She
Thank you,
was
Manuela.
busy on the phone, texting, calling, getting a hold of all these candidates, reaching out to them, organizing them to schedule them.
That's a lot of work.
Got some of our dream team people together with
Yes.
her and Jenny and William and her Miss Angie and
Yes.
Ernest and Larry and
Yes.
Christina and on and on and on.
Right,
All the people
right.
that came together and put together a really nice, a lot of the candidates were coming in, Viviana, they were tired, they were hungry, they're out doing all these things, making stops here, making stops there, moving signs and doing this and still keeping their jobs and all that. And they
Right.
walked in and she was telling me that they walked in and she said they felt so peaceful and calm to walk in to Solid Rock and the cafe here at the studio, KSRB. And we had, food for them and refreshments and they were just like, so good job.
Yeah.
Good job to y'all for being so hospitable to all those candidates. And William, thank you. I know you're not feeling so great today, but thanks for making the effort to be out here and
Thank you, William.
helping us with the tech side. And just everybody did a great job. Thanks to all of our dream team and thanks to all of our helpers. And thank you for coming out. And again, thanks to all the candidates who came out and made an effort to be on the air. And thank you, listeners, for listening. Again, none of these were paid advertisements. Nobody paid us to do this. We just wanted to provide this as a community service. So we don't, this only happens once a year or once every 2 years or 4 years, whatever. 4 years for big presidential elections and 2 years, I think. So we got a little bit off the norm, but that's okay. It was good. It was a good way to educate and inform and help people today. So any last words you want to say? And then we'll go back to music.
Oh, we'll just thank you, Dream Team. We love you, and I think it was a great success.
Absolutely. All right, you're listening to the all-new 100.3 Inspire Radio, KSRB. Thank you so much. We're going to go back to regular programming. I'll be in and out, though, all right? I won't go away. Hey, thanks for being with us today. It's been a great day. God bless. 100.3 KSRB, Inspire Radio.